Chapter 695. Indeed. The one-horned thunderbull nodded. I once heard from my elders that there are countless stars in outer space, but not all of them are suitable for living beings. Some of them are metal planets, and their entire bodies are made of hard metal. Some are solar stars that are covered in flames and emit brilliant light. Some are purely composed of water elements that condense into a huge water planet with only marine life. It also knew a lot of ancient secrets. Grab the moon and stars. All the monsters present were fascinated. It was not an exaggeration to say that this kind of ability was divine. Even a monster king would find it difficult to do such an unimaginable thing. The metal tiger was even more eager. If it could travel in the void, capture a metallic planet and devour it, it did not know what realm it would reach. However, this was wishful thinking. It did not know what realm it would reach to travel in the void. The gate here is too big. Tu Linglong blinked and looked at the gate in front of her. It was 2,000 to 3,000 meters tall and was extremely wide. Even an aircraft carrier would not have a problem passing through. In the ancient times, many monsters were huge. They were hundreds or thousands of meters tall. If the gate was small, I am afraid they would not be able to pass through. The black water grizzly also felt that it was very small in front of the wall. If it was in the ancient times, it would be a dwarf. If the monster race was at its peak, how could we let the human race be so arrogant in the cloud realm and destroy them with a single breath? The metal tiger gritted its teeth. It was very unwilling. The current monster race was many times weaker than in the ancient times. Just from this city, it was obvious that it was even more majestic and vast than the myriad monster mountain. Xiaoping glanced at it. If the monster race was so powerful, why were they destroyed? He could hear the tiger's complaint. It was obviously pointing at something. Destroyed. The three-eyed giant and the other monsters were furious. This bastard was really touching their sore spot. He clearly knew that this was a permanent pain for the monster race, but he still deliberately said it. It was obvious that he was poking at their sore spot. They were not destroyed. The metal tiger was indignant. Just a civil war. In ancient times, hundreds of races stood in great numbers and fought endlessly. No race could avoid a world-shaking war. Even such a majestic city couldn't escape the calamity. It expressed that if not for the internal strife of the demon race, they would not have declined. The only ones who could destroy the demon race at its peak were the demons themselves. No one else could do it. The other demons looked extremely proud. Clearly, they were extremely proud of the glory of their ancestors and could not tolerate others insulting them. Not necessarily. However, Xiaoping did not believe such nonsense. I don't believe that the monsters in ancient times were so stupid. They clearly knew that it would lead to the extinction of their race, yet they still went to war. I feel that they encountered an unstoppable danger that caused all of the ancient era's clans to fall. Just like on Earth, some countries had mastered nuclear bombs and were in a state of balance. They would not easily resort to force, or else it would lead to a world war and the destruction of Earth. He believed that the demon clan of the Cloud Realm was the same. They would also weigh the pros and cons. If it wasn't for a major accident, how could it have led to the fall of the 100 races and countless casualties? No matter how stupid they were, they would not risk mutual destruction by starting a war. Unstoppable danger? Are you kidding? The powerful figures of the demon clan in ancient times could already grab the stars and the moon and roam the void. What kind of danger could destroy the demon clan? The metal tiger snorted. Really? Xiaoping said indifferently, if that's the case, then there is a place in the human territory called the Cloud Mist Mountain. There is a heaven-devouring demon venerable suppressed there. It is a peerless demon. It has lived from the ancient era until now and still hasn't died. If the powerful figures of the demon clan are so powerful, why didn't they kill the demon but suppress it here instead? Just one of these demon sovereigns cost the demon clan so much effort. What if there's more than one of them? Have you thought about it? He felt that the Cloud Realm was full of mysteries and mysteries. Just the heaven-devouring demon venerable in the Cloud Mist Mountain was enough to shock people. Once it came out, it would probably turn the world upside down and change the structure of the entire world. The three-eyed giant and the other demons were silent. They did not know how to answer because there was a similar place sealed in the Wanyao Mountain. It was a terrifying demon. Even the Wanyao mountain did not dare to take it lightly and was monitoring it at all times. Tu Linglong's eyes flickered. She knew some secrets, but they were too terrifying and could not be revealed casually. Forget it. This kind of thing has nothing to do with us. Let's go into the ruined city and see if there are any treasures left. Xia Ping quickly gave up on this matter. This kind of thing was like history and it was enough to understand it. If he really wanted to dig deeper, he would probably have to spend a lot of effort. He did not have time to think about this matter. The three-eyed giant and the other demons nodded. The group immediately walked in, crossed the huge gate, and entered the ruined city, heading towards the depths. However, the moment Xia Ping and the others stepped into the ruined city, a dark power that enveloped the entire city began to tremble, spreading thousands of feet underground. It was a huge dark space and a monster stayed there. It was spherical and completely black, appearing to be in the state of black fog. It did not have a fixed body. It emitted a deep, strange, dark, evil and other auras. It seemed to gather the darkness of the world. Even the light would be distorted and devoured. Even if a king entered this space, they would probably be crushed to death by the dark power and turned into dust. However, this terrifying beast was bound by huge black chains and was firmly trapped in the dark space. No matter how it struggled, it could not break free from the shackles of the chains. Oh, what is this smell? Such a fragrant aura actually makes my soul tremble. The bloodline of a divine beast. This must be the supreme bloodline of a divine beast. Could it be that a young divine beast has entered this place? A terrifying wave shook the surroundings and spread out, causing the entire space to ripple. The monster let out a buzzing sound, shaking the earth. It became excited. It sensed the aura of the golden crow of hell on Xia Ping's body, and the surrounding black fog rolled wildly. Great, this is really great. If I can devour this human's bloodline, I will definitely be able to escape from here. Damn demon race, they trapped me for 30,000 years. Once I escape, I will definitely exterminate the entire demon race and turn them into nourishment for my soul-devouring beast. They all have to die, they all have to die. It roared crazily, filled with extreme hatred. It had been trapped in this dark space by a small demon race, and its life force was constantly draining away. It would probably turn into dust soon. Chapter 696. 30,000 years ago, the soul-devouring beast descended into this world from outer space. With its main body's strength, it devoured everything in the world, thinking that it could destroy all life in this world and devour them into its stomach, allowing it to evolve greatly. But it did not expect that the heavenly demons, even though they were only natives, could display such tyrannical strength. They burned their lives to besiege it, causing it to suffer a crushing defeat and be forcefully sealed. But the heavenly demons did not have it easy either. That great battle nearly wiped out the demon race's upper echelons. Countless races vanished in the long river of history. Even the entire sky realm collapsed, splitting into several huge continents that were beyond recognition. Even with such a terrifying result, the soul-devouring beast still felt aggrieved. The soul-devouring beast race was a cosmic race. Devouring planets was a normal feeding behavior. Countless vital planets had been destroyed by the soul-devouring beast. Now it had been sealed by some puny demons, unable to come out for 30,000 years. Now it was extremely weak and its soul was on the verge of being obliterated. To it, this was a great humiliation. It filled it with monstrous hatred. This damned seal can't hold me. I'll break free soon. The soul-devouring beast roared. Its face was hideous, filled with resentment and anger. The surrounding chains rattled, but at this time bursts of azure light erupted. Countless runes appeared in the void, and in an instant it was suppressed. Not only could the sealing chains seal its strength, but they could also extract its life force. But the soul-devouring beast's life force was too boundless. Even after tens of thousands of years, its life force had yet to be completely extracted. It was truly terrifying. Rumble, at that moment, the entire dark space trembled. The surrounding chains trembled violently. The soul-devouring beast's body surged with a violent black aura that spread throughout the space and permeated the entire sky demon graveyard. Wisps of dark aura surged into the depths of the evil demons in the sky demon graveyard. It instantly took control of their souls and made them its own. Master! Immediately, All the evil demons in the sky demon graveyard prostrated themselves, seemingly sensing a mysterious power. An unknown mighty existence gazed at them and trembled. Go capture that human. Kill all the demons that enter this place and devour their flesh and blood. The soul-devouring beast's voice rang out and entered the minds of every nefarious demon. This voice contained supreme might. To it, killing that human and devouring the divine beast's bloodline was of utmost importance. However, it did not mean that it would let the other creatures go. No matter how small a mosquito was, it still had some meat. If it swallowed all these monsters, it would definitely increase its strength to break free from the chains. Not to mention that those monsters were the descendants of the ones who sealed it back then. They had a blood feud with it. Therefore, it would not let off a single living being that entered the heaven demon graveyard. Yes, master. The evil spirits bowed their heads and accepted the order. One by one they began to move. At this moment the entire sky demon graveyard shook, forming a demon tide. Soon we'll be able to leave this dark place soon. The soul-devouring beast forcefully endured, its eyes revealing a frightening light. Although it could not break free from the power of this seal, it could still leak out a bit of its power. But just by relying on this power, he could control all the evil fiends in the heavenly demon graveyard at will. Meanwhile, in the heavenly demon graveyard, this ruined city was just too big. It was practically the size of a country. Moreover, every building was extremely tall, easily reaching hundreds or thousands of meters in height. When Xia Ping and the others entered this place, they felt like dwarves entering a giant's kingdom. They felt extremely tiny. After tens of thousands of years, the city had hardly changed. This was because the buildings here were all made of earth crystals and had the effect of not eroding for tens of thousands of years. However, after a tragic war, the entire city had been reduced to ruins. Broken walls were everywhere, and there were almost no intact buildings. The ground was filled with potholes. Xia Ping and the others stepped on the crushed stones on the ground, producing a loud thud. In this silent city, it was as if they were hearing the divine sounds of ancient battles, causing one's heart to palpitate. Look! There's a treasure artifact over there. Suddenly, the one-horned lightning bull cried out in surprise. It discovered a building in the distance. There was a purple sword floating in the air, emitting a purple light. From time to time, the sword would spit out sword light, containing divine might. With the purple sword as the center, it emitted a unique aura. The surrounding dust was cleared away, forming an absolute domain. And many evil fiends appeared around it. They were all broken into dozens of pieces, their blood staining the ground. It's definitely a treasure left behind by an ancient demon king. We're rich. We're rich. The Crow of Misfortune was very excited. It could tell that the purple sword was definitely extraordinary. It was a powerful treasure artifact. Once obtained, its combat strength would increase more than tenfold. Don't act rashly. This purple sword is very unusual. Xia Ping narrowed his eyes. He was not blinded by the treasure artifact in front of him. He instinctively felt that it was extremely dangerous. It was a lethal weapon. What? The Crow of Misfortune and the other demons' mouths twitched. When did this greedy and shameless human become so cautious? Shouldn't he be yelling and snatching the treasure artifact? Haha. Look what I found. A treasure artifact. We're rich. We're rich. As expected of the heavenly demon graveyard. With the saints' ruins, we found treasures the moment we entered. This is mine. I'll fight anyone who dares to snatch it from me. At this time, more than a dozen Grandmaster-level demons appeared in the distance. When they saw the purple treasure artifact, their eyes revealed a greedy look. They immediately attacked the treasure artifact, ignoring Xia Ping and the others. Boom! A wolf demon was the first to act. A wolf claw condensed from demonic aura slammed down in an attempt to grab the purple sword. A demon bird was the fastest. It swooped down from the sky, its talons astonishing. It flapped its wings at supersonic speed, containing a terrifying destructive force. It wanted to grab the purple sword in an instant and leave. A leopard demon was not to be outdone. It leaped from hundreds of meters away, creating a phantom image in midair. It produced a terrifying jumping and explosive force that instantly cracked the ground. Damn it! The Crow of Misfortune and the other demons were enraged. These fellows were too arrogant. They were the ones who discovered the treasure first, but these bastards dared to snatch it first. They were unscrupulous and too arrogant. Xia Ping did not say a word. He narrowed his eyes and watched. Chapter 697. Buzz. At that moment the purple sword trembled slightly. Rays of sword light that had solidified flew out in all directions, seeming to contain an astonishing amount of destructive power. The wolf demon that ran the fastest was caught off guard. It didn't expect the purple sword to be able to move on its own. It was immediately hit by one of the sword light. With a poochie sound, blood splattered everywhere. Its entire body was cut in half. The cut was smooth. Its corpse fell to the ground, kicking up a cloud of dust. It's over. The eyes of the leopard demon turned green. It wanted to stop, but its speed was too fast. It was almost at the peak of its life. At this speed, even if it wanted to stop, it would rush forward due to inertia. Dong! More than a dozen sword radiances attacked. They were terrifyingly sharp, and with a few poochie sounds, its body was cut into more than a dozen pieces. It was as if it had been cut into minced meat by a butcher. It didn't even have the chance to cry out before dying just like that. Damn it! The demon bird in the sky saw that the wolf demon and leopard demon were killed in an instant. Its eyes turned green. It was so scared that it flapped its wings and dodged crazily, trying to avoid the attack of the sword light. It tried to move with all its might, but it was still cut by a sword light. In an instant, half of its wing was cut off. A large amount of blood sprayed out, and it screamed in pain. Having lost one wing, it lost its balance. Its entire body fell to the ground. Too strong. The crow of misfortune and the other demons were dumbfounded. This kind of sword light was ridiculously strong. If they were hit, they wouldn't be able to dodge it. They would be cut in half in an instant. At the same time, they still had lingering fears. If Xia Ping hadn't stopped them, they would probably have been torn into countless pieces in an instant. They wouldn't have been able to save them no matter what. Boom! After killing the three demons, the purple sword shone brilliantly. It shot up into the sky and disappeared in front of everyone. No one knew where it went. They couldn't stop it. Xia Ping didn't feel it was a pity. This purple sword was too strong. Even if he had it, he probably wouldn't be able to control it. It was a lethal weapon that contained incomparable ferocity. In fact, the Hell Spear was even more terrifying. If not for the fact that Xia Ping possessed the Golden Crow of Hell's bloodline and cultivated the pure Yang indestructible incantation, he might not have been able to control it. Throughout the ages, countless experts had tried to control the Hell's Spear, but all of them ended up in a miserable state. What a powerful weapon! It can actually attack the enemy. Unbelievable. It is said that some of the more tyrannical precious artifacts already possess spirituality. They know how to distinguish between good and evil as well as enemies. If they are able to evolve, they might even possess intelligence, becoming like living creatures. As expected of the ancient era's Yao King's weapon, it's terrifyingly powerful. However, how do we subdue these prized artifacts? There are only two ways. One is to use strength to subdue others, and the other is fate. If there is no fate and no strength, then the outcome will be the same as those three monsters' death. The crow of misfortune and the others lamented. Subduing a prized artifact was a very dangerous matter. If they were not careful, they would be instantly killed by the prized artifact. There must be a considerable number of prized artifacts here. Keep searching, Xia Ping ordered. He believed that in this ruin, there must be many weapons left behind by the ancient demon kings. After those demon kings died in battle, they would definitely leave behind powerful prized artifacts. This had also led to this place becoming a treasure trove. Almost every time, many geniuses would come here to search for treasures. Sure enough, Xia Ping and the others continued to search this ruined city. First, they came to a remote alley and found a red horn. However, before they could even get close, the red horn immediately blew, emitting earth-shattering waves. It was like the roar of a giant dragon. The power of the sound waves condensed into a substance, like the waves of the sea, spreading in all directions. Even the earth was shaken by this power. Any living creature that dared to get close to the red horn would be shaken to death. They also found a black broadsword in a house. It was inserted into the ground, bursting out black saber chi, forming a sharp, indestructible, and full of demonic nature. Even if Xiaoping wanted to get close, it was impossible because the saber chi was too terrifying. It was estimated that even a warrior at the peak of the Grandmaster realm would be killed by it. They also found a white flag in a square. This flag was placed on the square, but it emitted a realistic illusion all the time. Xiaoping and the others went in and immediately fell into the illusion, unable to extricate themselves. If it wasn't for the timely warning from Xiaoping's infernal Golden Crow bloodline and the powerful soul power that quickly pulled him out, perhaps his soul would have fallen into the illusion. In addition, they also saw many prized artifacts. Some were powerful, some were strange, some disappeared very quickly, and some were impossible to get close to. Each of them was extremely powerful. However, they were all like hedgehogs. They could only look at them. If they dared to touch them, they would immediately be covered with cuts and bruises. After searching for more than an hour, they still couldn't find a single prized artifact. Damn it! The Crow of Misfortune and the other monsters were flustered and exasperated. They felt very aggrieved. They had entered a treasure mountain, but they were going to return empty-handed. How strange! Xiaoping immediately frowned. As someone with the infernal Golden Crow bloodline, he instinctively sensed an ominous atmosphere brewing in the Sky Demon graveyard. Strange? What's strange? Tu Linglong asked curiously. This was the first time she had seen this human reveal such a solemn expression. Xiaoping's eyes flickered. Isn't it said that there are many evil fiends in the Sky Demon graveyard? We've been here for so long. Why haven't we encountered a single one? Indeed, I'm also very puzzled about this matter. It's as though those evil fiends have disappeared. The Crow of Misfortune nodded as well. It was very sensitive to such matters. What's strange about it? Those evil fiends must have seen how powerful we are and pissed their pants in fright. How would they dare appear before us? Metal Tiger said carelessly, not caring about such a trivial matter. Rumble! At that moment a huge tremor came from afar. The rubble on the ground rolled wildly as smoke and dust billowed. Thick black fog appeared as though a storm was sweeping over. One after another, horned, winged, pitch-black evil fiends flew over from afar. They were like a dark cloud that blotted out the sky, exuding a baleful aura. Stupid tiger, you're a fucking jinx. When the Crow of Misfortune sensed this aura, his face turned green. There were so many evil fiends, hundreds and thousands of them. They were practically an army. You're the real Crow. Metal Tiger looked depressed. He didn't expect such a thing to happen. Who would have thought that so many evil fiends would suddenly appear? And in groups at that. Ding! The eyes of the fiend devils all shone with a red light. They were crazy to the extreme and didn't fear death. They attacked Xiaoping's group like a swarm of locusts blotting out the sky. Their killing intent was boiling, and they wanted the lives of Xiaoping and the others. Courting death. A cold light flashed in Xiaoping's eyes. He immediately made his move, circulating the pure yang immortal art within his body. His earth chi revolved, and a lava-like power instantly erupted. Dong! He punched out, and a large amount of flames gushed out from his 108,000 pores, condensing into many flaming divine birds in the void, and pouncing towards these demons. These flames were condensed from the essence of the sun, and contained the energy of extreme yang. They were the greatest nemesis of the Yin attribute evil spirits in the world. Rumble! A large number of flaming divine birds crashed into these evil spirits, carrying out a suicidal attack. In an instant they exploded and wisps of flames wrapped around these evil spirits. Immediately, these flames burned crazily, and the demonic chi on these evil spirits was like the world's best fuel, making the flames even more vigorous. Ah! The evil spirits let out shrill screams. These flames could melt everything, and even their bones could be burned to ashes. Immediately, they were in heart-wrenching pain, and their souls were on the verge of collapsing. They were like dumplings falling madly from the sky and turning into lumps of charcoal. At the same time, the Crow of Misfortune, the three-eyed giant, the one-horned thunderbull, Tu Linglong, and the other demons immediately attacked. They exerted their full strength, and like tigers entering a flock of sheep, they fought with these evil spirits. In just a few minutes, hundreds of evil spirits were killed, and their corpses piled up into a small mountain. This won't do. There are too many of these evil spirits, and I can't kill them all. The crow of misfortune panted heavily, and its demonic power was severely depleted. The other demons were the same. After killing so many evil spirits, they felt extremely tired. However, the number of these evil spirits was endless, and they were still increasing. Thousands, tens of thousands, even tens of thousands of them were flying over. Let's escape. Xiaoping made a prompt decision. Continuing to fight with these evil spirits would be courting death. After all, there were too many of them and they had too few people. If they were surrounded, it would be impossible to escape even if they wanted to. Hearing this, the crow of misfortune and the other demons looked at each other and quickly retreated. While retreating, Xiaoping saw a lot of demons and elite students fleeing. There were the starlight tortoise, the heaven-devouring elephant, the green phoenix, and other great demons. There were also elite students like Feng Qiudao, Bai Qingqing, and Lu Chao. It was obvious that they had also been attacked by the evil spirits and were quickly escaping. However, in order to smoothly escape, they were fighting while retreating. Although the starlight tortoise looked lazy before, it was faster than anyone else when it ran like a meteor. At the same time, it seemed to be able to control the power of the stars and condense them into giant rocks that fell from the sky. Huge rocks fell down like stars, instantly smashing dozens of evil devils to death. The huge power crushed those evil devils into meat paste. The green phoenix gave off a holy aura and was surrounded by white light. She flapped her wings and held a golden spear in her hand. This was the precious treasure, the holy light spear. Her speed was unimaginably fast, like a Kuan-pong. She left behind a series of afterimages in the air. At the same time, the holy light spear stabbed out, releasing rays of golden light. In the blink of an eye, over 100 demons were sliced into countless pieces of flesh. She was like a killing machine. No one was faster than her. The holy light spear was indestructible, and coupled with her terrifying speed, no one could stop her. The most violent was the heaven-devouring elephant. It sucked in all the air within several kilometers and then released it. It created a powerful blast of air that caused a heaven-shaking explosion. Over 100 evil devils were instantly killed and turned into a pile of meat paste. Some evil spirits tried to stop it and even sent a large number of troops to stop it. However, the heaven-devouring elephant was like a super tank. Those evil spirits were like mantises trying to stop a chariot. They were all smashed to death. Chapter 699. What powerful demons! If I capture them as pets, wouldn't I be rich? Xiaoping's eyes lit up when he saw these demons unleashing their might and slaughtering the evil demons. He felt his blood boil. Bastard human! Tu Linglong glared at Xiaoping angrily. This shameless human really had his eyes on Sister Blue Luan and the others. He actually wanted to capture them as pets. He must be dreaming. She had to warn Sister Blue Luan quickly. The crow of misfortune and the other demons were also speechless. At this point, he still wanted to capture the demons as pets. This guy was definitely a villain without the slightest bit of kindness. Just like that, they killed and retreated. One evil demon after another fell to the ground, leaving behind countless evil demon corpses along the way. Even if they were not afraid of death, they still felt a trace of fear after seeing so many of their companions die. Immediately, they stopped their pursuit and planned to gather more companions before wiping out this group of detestable humans and demons in one fell swoop and completely slaughtered them. Damn it, what's going on? A human elite came to the entrance of the Sky Demon graveyard and immediately shouted with a panicked expression. Where's the entrance? Where is the entrance to the Sky Demon graveyard? He was shocked to discover that there was originally a door here in the form of a chaotic airflow. But at this moment the door seemed to have solidified, completely isolating it from the outside world. No matter what method they used, they could not leave this door. Immediately, many humans and demons had a drastic change in expression. If they could not leave this godforsaken place, they would have to face the endless evil demon army. When that happened, it would be normal for them to all die here. Blue Luan, heaven-devouring elephant, and the other great demons' expressions turned solemn. The development of the situation exceeded their imagination. This time they were probably involved in a huge trouble. Over the years, they had never heard of the Sky Demon graveyard's door suddenly closing. The door is blocked? Xiaoping's eyes flickered. Although he knew that the soul-devouring beast was very powerful, He did not expect it to block the door here. This was clearly catching a turtle in a jar. It was clearly trying to put him to death. System, how should I leave this place? Xiaoping immediately asked. The system replied. The soul-devouring beast has already grasped a portion of the restrictive power here. In fact, every evil fiend is controlled by the soul-devouring beast's power, so it closed the gates to the heavenly demon graveyard. It's very simple to solve this problem, and that is to kill. Xiaoping raised his eyebrows. What do you mean? The reason why the soul-devouring beast is able to control the seals here is because it is very powerful. However, if we can kill all those evil spirits, we will be able to weaken the soul-devouring beast's power. The system said, once the soul-devouring beast's strength is weakened to a certain degree, it will no longer be able to control the tomb's restrictions. At that time, you will naturally be able to leave. How many demons do we have to kill? Xiaoping asked. The system said, at least 2/3 of them. 2/3? Xiaoping's pupils constricted. He had no idea how many fiendish demons there were in the sky demon graveyard. If he wanted to kill 2/3 of the fiendish demons, he might not be able to kill them all by himself. Looks like I'll need some help. Thinking of this, he walked in front of the demons and humans and directly said that there was a terrifying demonic beast suppressed here. It controlled the demons here, and if they wanted to leave, they would have to kill 2/3 of the demons here. How do you know about this? A demon asked in puzzlement, his eyes flickering. So many of them did not know, but this kid did. It was too strange. After all, the sky demon graveyard was once the territory of the demon race, and there were many secrets left behind. Don't tell me you were the one who caused this, kid? A human elite looked at Xiaoping suspiciously. This bastard caused trouble everywhere and had never done anything good. He was simply a jinx. No matter where he went, he would cause a lot of trouble. Xiaoping felt a little guilty. This matter was indeed caused by him. If not for his infernal golden crow bloodline, which attracted the attention of the soul-devouring beast, such a thing probably would not have happened. However, he would never say such a thing even if he was beaten to death. Otherwise, he would definitely be beaten up by the angry crowd. Xiaoping said boldly, I know about this matter, but you don't need to know. In short, it's up to you whether you believe me or not. I'm not interested in explaining this to you. With that said, he left with the crow of misfortune and the other demons without explaining at all. In any case, even if these people did not believe him, they would fight back against the evil demons. Therefore, he did not care whether these demons believed him or not. In short, saying this matter was to give them some motivation to kill the evil demons, so that they would not be afraid and hide everywhere. This bastard human. A demon was furious. What kind of attitude is this? We are clearly on the same boat, but he is still so arrogant. He simply has no eyes for demons. This bastard human has such a personality. Another demon's eyes flickered. What I'm concerned about is whether what he said is true or not. Is there any conspiracy? It was suspecting if Xiaoping had arranged some trap for them to jump into. Whether it's true or not, we can't go out for now. There are evil demons chasing us in front. We have to leave. If we are surrounded by those evil demons, we will all die, Green Luan said indifferently. Her sixth sense told her that this human was not lying. However, she felt that something was amiss, as if this human was hiding some crucial information. That's true. We can't stay here any longer. If we are wiped out by those evil demons, we will be completely doomed. We should hurry and go deeper into the city. Starlight Tortoise nodded in agreement. Fortunately, this ruined city was huge. There were buildings everywhere, and there were many places to hide. Entering the city was like a drop of water entering the ocean. If they relied on the buildings here to defend, it would not be easy for those evil demons to surround them. Let's go. The heaven-devouring elephant said. The surrounding demons nodded. Since the few great demons here had said so, they had no objections. After all, they had no other choice but to temporarily hide. Let's go too. That's right. Let's go deep into the city. Fight those evil demons in the streets and slowly grind them to death. The eyes of Feng Qiudao and the rest flickered. They also weighed the pros and cons. They felt that staying here had more disadvantages than advantages. They also left and entered the ruined city. Even though they felt that this bastard Xiaoping was not reliable at all and could not even trust a punctuation mark, they did not have any more information. They could only hope that this guy did not trick them. Chapter 700. Few days later. In the Sky Demon Graveyard there were fierce battles everywhere. Almost all the evil demons were in action, fighting to the death with the demons and humans who entered the graveyard. There were countless casualties, especially Xiaoping, Crow of Misfortune, and other demons. They were the focus of the evil demons and were targeted by the soul-devouring beast. Therefore, a large number of evil demons surrounded Xiaoping and others. Basically, when they saw them appear, they would come in groups to kill them. No matter how many evil demons died, they did not retreat. At this time, Xiaoping and others hid in a remote house, temporarily avoiding the pursuit of the evil demons. They used it as a temporary resting place. They were all slumped on the ground, gasping for breath. Crow of Misfortune's wing was injured, almost cut off. Blood flowed on the ground. It lay on the ground, unable to move, unable to fly for a short time. More than a dozen bones in Metal Tiger's body were broken. He gasped for breath and his physical strength was basically exhausted. Tu Linglong also had a lot of blood on her body. Her face was pale and her clothes were dyed red. Three-Eyed Giant, One-Horned Thunderbull, Widow Spider, Blackwater Explosive Bear, and other demons were not much better. They were more or less seriously injured, lying in the corner of the house to rest. Xiaoping did not suffer so much. He relied on Dark North body protection technique and rampaged. Those evil demons could not hurt his body at all. Instead, many of them were killed. But even so, several days of killing still made him feel mentally exhausted. Damn it, what's going on? Why do we seem to be the focus of those evil demons and they always come to trouble us in groups? Three-Eyed Giant looked depressed. Compared with other demons, they were obviously taken care of more. Almost as soon as they appeared, they attacked crazily. Several times, if it weren't for their strength and the abnormal Xiaoping in this place, they would probably be killed by those evil demons and become their food. Yes, I also find it very strange. Those evil demons seem to be specifically looking for our whereabouts. Although other demons and humans will also chase us, the intensity is obviously reduced. Crow of Misfortune also paid attention to this problem. It felt that the purpose of those evil demons was not simple, but it was not clear what the purpose was. Metal Tiger and other demons nodded. They also felt extremely puzzled. Do you still need to ask? It must be because you have the blood of a demon king flowing in your veins. For those demons, this is simply a great supplement. It's a 1,000-year-old medicine that can move. If they don't come looking for trouble with you, who else would they look for trouble with? Xiaoping felt very guilty, but he still spoke with a face full of righteousness. Furthermore, it's very likely that your ancestor was the culprit behind the seal of that magical beast. Now that that magical beast knows of your existence, it will definitely go crazy and risk its life to hunt you down and take revenge. At this point he suddenly stopped talking. The faces of the Crows of Misfortune and the other demons turned extremely ugly because they admitted that it was very possible. After all, the one who sealed the demonic beast was the ancestor of the demon race. If that demonic beast hated the demon clan, they would definitely be retaliated against. There was no doubt about it. If he put himself in their shoes, they would probably do the same. Say it, why don't you say it? Tu Linglong looked at Xiaoping with a dangerous expression. Xiaoping rolled his eyes and said, by the way, I suddenly remembered something very important. I may need to leave for a while. He wanted to turn around and leave. Big brother, what important thing is it that requires you to leave in such a hurry? The Crows of Misfortune immediately blocked in front of Xiaoping with a fake smile. The Three-Eyed Giant, Metal Tiger, One-Horned Thunderbull, Tu Linglong, and the other demons bared their teeth. They could all see that this shameless human definitely wanted to abandon them and run away. Wasn't that right? The reason why they were besieged by so many demons was because of their identity as demons. To put it simply, they were super light bulbs, the kind that specialized in attracting demons. If they continued to stay by their side, they would definitely be implicated. This shameless human probably also thought of this, so he suddenly stopped talking and wanted to retreat. It's nothing important. I just want to go outside and scout the enemy situation to see if there are any demons approaching. Xiaoping expressed that he wanted to be a scout and scout the enemy's situation. There's no need for that, big brother. Just leave a small matter like scouting the enemy's situation to me. Corpse-devouring vulture. There's no need for big brother to go personally. Corpse-devouring vulture immediately stood up and volunteered. Why bother? Corpse-devouring vulture, you've also suffered quite a lot of injuries. You should stay in your room and rest. Big brother didn't contribute much before, so this is a good time to make up for it. Xiaoping's expression was stern and righteous. Make up for it, my ass. Tu Linglong looked at this shameless human with disdain. It was obvious that he wanted to use the excuse of scouting the enemy's situation to escape and abandon them, who were a burden to attract demons. Now he was even pretending to make up for it. Why didn't he want to make up for it before? Why did he want to make up for it now? Did he really think that they were stupid and would be easily deceived by this human? Big brother, we're in danger now. We should help each other. The three-eyed giant used his huge body to block the door of the room. The one-horned thunderbull stood by the window of the room. The spider widow, metal tiger, black water explosive bear, and the other demons immediately moved and blocked all the exits of the room. It was obvious that they did not want to let Xiaoping leave. Why do you guys have to do this? It's better for one person to live than to be wiped out. Xiaoping looked up to the sky and sighed. Don't worry. When I leave the sky demon battlefield alive, I'll burn yellow paper and give you roasted chickens every year. I'll inherit your will and create a harmonious society where humans and demons coexist. Inherit my ass. The crow of misfortune and the other demons were half dead from anger. This shameless human really thought that they were dead. They even wanted to burn yellow paper for them and worship them. They were still alive. Big brother, we're your loyal subordinates. Furthermore, you planted fireball bombs on us. Are you going to abandon us just like that? The crow of misfortune bared its teeth. It knew very well that they were all defeated soldiers now. If Xiaoping escaped, they would be dead for sure. They could not let this human abandon them even if they were beaten to death. Previously, they wanted to leave Xiaoping's side, but now they did not want Xiaoping to leave even if they were beaten to death. It's not abandonment, but a strategic retreat to preserve our strength and make a comeback. This is a strategy. Xiaoping looked righteous. Make a comeback. Chapter 701. Alright, let's cut the chatter. If there's anything else, we'll talk about it later, Xiaoping said carelessly, indicating that he had things to do and didn't want to stay here any longer. Don't even think about running away. With a whoosh, Tu Linglong pounced on Xiaoping at an extremely fast speed. She hung on to him like a koala bear and hugged him tightly. She wouldn't let this bastard go no matter what. She bared her fangs and brandished her claws with a resolute expression. Tu Linglong, don't go too far. You should be happy that I'm letting you go now. Why are you stopping me one by one? Xiaoping shouted. He bared his teeth because Tu Linglong's figure was simply too good. She was like a devil clinging tightly to his body. He immediately felt what it meant to be exquisite and voluptuous, what it meant to be a natural beauty, and what it meant to be able to bring calamity to a nation. If there weren't so many monsters watching, he probably wouldn't be able to hold it in and turn into a wolf. Let us go. Tu Linglong looked at Xiaoping with disdain. You're clearly greedy for life and afraid of death. You want to abandon us. Why are you humans so despicable and shameless? Don't you have any guts? She grabbed Xiaoping tightly with both hands and exerted all her strength. She wouldn't let go no matter what. Let go. If you continue like this, I'm going to flip out. Don't think you can do whatever you want here just because you have a good figure and beautiful face, understand? Xiaoping warned. Tu Linglong snorted. Flip out if you have the guts. Oh right, didn't you plant a fireball bomb on me? Detonate it for me now. Since I'm going to die in the hands of those demons anyway, I might as well drag someone down with me. I'm going to die with you. She had a resolute expression and was already mentally prepared. She had been taken advantage of by this shameless man so many times. This time she would take revenge no matter what. She wouldn't let him off even if she became a ghost. If they all died in the hands of those demons while this scourge of humans was still alive and kicking, she would probably crawl back in anger even if she stayed in hell. That's right. Big brother, don't even think about running. Either you detonate the bomb now and we all die together, or you stay and help each other out. You want to escape alone and abandon us to live? Dream on. The crows of misfortune and the other monsters surrounded Xia Ping with a firm attitude. If Xia Ping wanted to escape, they would immediately rush forward and grab him by his limbs. In any case, if this fellow detonated the bombs in their bodies, this fellow would definitely be killed. All right. Xia Ping rolled his eyes, spread his hands and said, "Since you've said so, then fine, I'll stay and fight against those demons." Hearing this, Tu Linglong and the other demons immediately heaved a sigh of relief. As long as this human didn't sneak away, it would be fine. In short, no matter what, they had to keep this human together. Otherwise, if they were besieged by a large number of demons, it would bode ill for them. However, for some reason they felt a little strange in their hearts. They kept feeling as if something was wrong with them, as if they had been ruthlessly tricked by this human. However, they couldn't tell what exactly was wrong. But we can't go on like this. If those evil spirits don't all die, I'm afraid we'll die. The crow of misfortune said solemnly. It felt that the situation was extremely serious. Those demons were not afraid of death. It didn't matter how many of them died. But they couldn't. If this continued, their injuries would be very serious, and when that time came there would be no hope. It doesn't matter. I've already thought of a way to wipe out all those demons in one fell swoop, Xia Ping said confidently. What? Upon hearing this, the crow of misfortune and the other demons were shocked. They didn't expect Xia Ping to say such a thing. He even had a way to deal with those evil spirits. What is it? Tu Linglong immediately asked. Xia Ping smiled faintly and immediately took out an item. Holy shit! Isn't this the miniature nuclear bomb of humans? Why did you bring this thing in? The three-eyed giant's eyes immediately turned green. It was so frightened that its heart trembled. Back in the war between humans and demons, the demons had numerous numbers and experts, but they were still at a disadvantage because of the existence of nuclear bombs. Those nuclear bombs that humans manufactured in batches killed countless demons. Apart from monarchs, no demon could withstand them. Even monarchs had to pay a huge price to withstand them. Therefore, it was impossible for them not to know about the technological weapons of humans. Some necessary preparations, Xia Ping said with a smile. He had made a lot of preparations for entering the Sky Demon battlefield. First, he had purchased many miniature nuclear bombs from the giant corporation. As he had special privileges, no one stopped him. Just one miniature nuclear bomb can't change the situation at all. That's nothing. The crow of misfortune also calmed down. As Xia Ping was not an enemy, it wasn't worried that Xia Ping would detonate the nuclear bomb. Of course, one won't change anything, but what if I have 1,000? Xia Ping smiled. In order to ensure that nothing went wrong in this operation, he had purchased 1,000 of them. A miniature nuclear bomb was worth 10 million federal coins, so 1,000 of them were only worth 10 billion federal coins. To him, it was simply a drop in the bucket. Upon hearing this, the crow of misfortune went crazy. 1,000? Are you crazy? Why do you have so many? Are you trying to start a war? Or are you trying to kill all of us demons? It was scared half to death. If it was just a miniature nuclear bomb, it wouldn't be much. Grandmaster-level demons were extremely fast, and could completely avoid the power of such a bomb. As long as they weren't at the center of the explosion, they wouldn't die. However, if 1,000 miniature nuclear bombs were to detonate, the power would be earth-shattering. Even monarchs would be doomed if they were at the center of the explosion. The three-eyed giant and the other demons were dumbfounded and couldn't believe their ears. How did you bring so many miniature nuclear bombs in? Tu Linglong was extremely curious. Generally speaking, elite human students wouldn't bring such weapons in. First of all, it was a military item, and it was very difficult for ordinary people to obtain it. Second, even if they brought it in, it wouldn't be of much use. 1 or 2 miniature nuclear bombs wouldn't change the situation at all, unless hundreds of them were brought in. Only then would they be a huge threat. However, the weight of a miniature nuclear bomb wasn't small either. Thousands of such bombs would probably crush even those with natural divine strength. They would be like tortoises that couldn't run at all. Therefore, elite students didn't want to bring such things in at all. It was simply a burden. Only a super nouveau riche like Xia Ping, who had a spatial ring, could do such a luxurious thing. That's a secret. Xiaoping wasn't interested in explaining such things at all. The most important thing was to maintain a sense of mystery. This would greatly deter the other party and prevent these demons from having any disloyal thoughts. Chapter 702. Tu Linglong and the other demons racked their brains but could not figure out how Xiaoping had brought these miniature nuclear bombs in. This was because they had never seen a treasure like an interspatial ring before. Even though they were extremely curious, there was nothing they could do if Xiaoping didn't say. All they could do was be filled with puzzlement. At the same time, they felt immense reverence for this human. The three-eyed giant and the other demons felt a chill run down their spines. Thankfully, they did not plan on gathering demons to attack the human. Otherwise, the human would have taken out over 1,000 miniature nuclear bombs. Most of the demon race prodigies who entered the Sky Demon battlefield would probably die. I want to set up a trap, Xiaoping said directly. Attract most of the fiends over and use these nuclear bombs to blast them into the sky. We will wipe them out once and for all. He revealed his plan. What do you want us to do? The three-eyed giant and the other demons looked at Xiaoping. If he really had over 1,000 miniature nuclear bombs, there was no need to detonate them all. Just a portion of them would be enough to blast the fiends to death. They felt that this plan was extremely feasible. Very simple. I'll let you be bait. Xiaoping told them the plan he had already prepared. You guys split up and spread out, then lead those demons to the designated location. Then, when all the fiends are gathered, detonate them immediately and kill them all. The plan was simple, but it was very effective. Once it succeeded, the fiends would die and they would be safe. The problem was that being bait was extremely dangerous. Sometimes they would be killed by the fiends before they could attract them. It could be said that there was a high chance of survival. Let's do it. However, the Crow of Misfortune and the other demons did not hesitate and immediately agreed to Xiaoping's plan. The reason was simple. Even if they hid now, they would die sooner or later. It was better to follow this plan and fight to the death to kill all the fiends. Only then would there be a chance of survival. Very good. Xiaoping was very satisfied. He had done so many things in hopes that they would be willing to be bait. Now he had finally succeeded. It was not that simple for the soul-devouring beast to kill him. At the very least, he had to knock out one of its teeth. First, he had to pluck out its claws and wipe out all the fiends. He wanted to see what other abilities that fellow had. If they could exterminate those evil spirits, they would definitely be able to heavily injure the soul-devouring beast. After all, it had already expended a tremendous amount of energy to extend most of its power. If all this power disappeared, he would probably fly into a rage and suffer serious injuries. Several days later, the Crows of Misfortune and the others didn't go anywhere. They just stayed in this remote room and quietly rested. Their injuries had finally recovered. Xiaoping also took advantage of these 3 days to consolidate and digest the energy within his body. So far, he had already broken through 8 meridians, and the power of his quintessential essence was much stronger than before. He only needed to break through 4 more meridians, and he would be able to reach the Zhongshe realm. However, after cultivating for so long, the water moon grass and the demonic cores that he had previously collected were all used up. Fortunately, he had obtained a lot of spiritual liquid, so even if he did not have these things, it would not matter. Let's go. Follow the plan. Xiaoping stood up. The Crow of Misfortune and the other demons nodded and immediately took action. At this time, in a corner of the ruined city, countless nefarious demons were gathered together. Damn it! Where is that human Xiaoping hiding? Why can't I find him anywhere? A nefarious demon was very annoyed. It had been so long, but they couldn't even catch a shadow of that human. However, they couldn't be blamed. The area of the ruined city was too big. Hiding in a corner was like a drop of water merging into the sea. Even if they had a large number of people, it was extremely difficult to find a person in a short period of time. He's not very capable, but his hiding ability is first class. The so-called human is similar to a mouse. They are all gutless things. Another nefarious demon gritted its teeth and cursed. Now Master is very angry. He said that if we can't catch that human, he will destroy us. Everyone, what should we do? A nefarious demon leader was extremely terrified. It knew the temper of the soul-devouring beast very well. Once it was angry, who knew how many nefarious demons would die? Even it might not be able to escape. The other nefarious demons were also extremely terrified, trembling. Why don't we not capture other demons? We should concentrate our forces. Once we find that human, we will set up an inescapable net. That way, he won't be able to escape, and we will be able to catch a turtle in a jar. A nefarious demon suggested. Many nefarious demons nodded. It was precisely because they were scattered to kill other demons that their strength to capture Xiaoping weakened. If they could concentrate their forces, their chances of success would increase greatly. Indeed, to master those demons and humans are just snacks. That human Xiaoping is his main food. Capturing him is the most important thing. Some nefarious demons agreed. Reporting. Suddenly, a nefarious demon flew over from the sky. Its expression was extremely excited. Lord Leader, we found the human Xiaoping in a corner. What? They actually found the human Xiaoping. The nefarious demon leader immediately shouted excitedly. Well done. Let's go and capture him immediately. It really was effortless to travel to the ends of the world. Previously they said that there was no movement, but now he appeared. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Instantly, tens of thousands of nefarious demons moved out. They covered the sky and flew in midair like dark clouds. In an instant they arrived at the corner. They also saw the corner where Xiaoping appeared. One by one, nefarious demons descended and surrounded Xiaoping. It was as if tens of thousands of fierce tigers were staring at a sheep, filled with killing intent. Haha, run. Continue running. Damned human, aren't you very good at running? The nefarious demon leader's expression was ferocious, full of anger. For the past few days, it had been extremely irritated by Xiaoping and the other bastards. It had been hiding here and there, fooling them. Now it had finally caught one of its companions. It was as if the heavens were helping it. Run my ass. Xiaoping appeared in front of these nefarious demons openly and said disdainfully, I'm tired of playing games with you fools these past few days. I can't be bothered to continue playing with you fools. Tell your boss to come out. I'll kill it in minutes. He shouted at the group of nefarious demons. At this moment, it was as if he was not a sheep being surrounded, but a fierce tiger being surrounded. What? Chapter 703. One had to know what kind of person their boss was. He was the calamity of the universe, a tyrannical monster that had once destroyed the demon race. Even though the demon race had paid a huge price and suffered countless casualties, they still hadn't been able to kill him. They could only suppress him here and slowly grind him to death with the passage of time. This human actually dared to boast in front of such a powerful figure, saying that he could kill his boss in minutes. This human was simply too daring. The evil spirits present looked at Xiaoping with incomparable pity, as if they were looking at a madman. Foolish human, you dare to provoke master? Go, capture this foolish human and tear him to pieces. No, master wants to capture him alive. Break his legs and let's see where he can run to. The group of evil spirits all had ferocious expressions, surging with murderous intent. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. In an instant they didn't waste any time talking to Xiaoping and directly attacked. Dozens of evil spirits flapped their wings like demonic birds and pounced over with extreme speed. If a human didn't react fast enough, he would instantly be pierced by the steel forks in their hands and turned into barbecued skewers. Foolish. Xiaoping was already prepared. He grabbed with his large hand, and flames immediately appeared on his body, condensing into fireballs and smashing toward these evil spirits. Bang bang bang. Instantly, these evil spirits were caught off guard and were hit by the fireballs, exploding instantly. Huge flames surrounded the evil spirits' bodies and started burning fiercely. Oh! They let out shrill cries because the sun essence was their nemesis. Demonic energy was simply the best fuel. Once it was ignited, there was no way to extinguish it. In a few breaths' time, dozens of evil spirits were burned to ashes. You want to kill me with just this bit of ability? Simply a lunatic's ravings. Xiaoping said disdainfully, why don't you call that stupid soul-devouring beast out? I can beat it with both hands and legs. He didn't care about these evil spirits at all. Arrogant human. Did you eat a bear's heart or a leopard's gall? There's no need for Master to come out to deal with a puny human. Die die. Many of the nefarious devils roared in anger. Immediately, hundreds of nefarious devils pounced over in a frenzy. They did not fear death at all. They did not care about the lives of their companions at all. In fact, they did not even care about their own lives. Foolish human, I have over 10,000 evil devils here. Let's see how long you can keep killing. The evil devil leader sneered and ordered the cannon fodder to charge forward. It did not believe that this human's stamina was limitless. Once his stamina was exhausted, it would be time to capture this human alive. How long are we going to kill them? Of course, I'll kill all of you until you're all dead. A cold light flashed in Xiaoping's eyes. With a thought, the fireball bombs scattered around him immediately flew out. This was a trap that he had set up beforehand, waiting for the group of demons to rush over stupidly. Rumble, immediately, hundreds of fireball bombs exploded with earth-shattering power. In an instant, a deep pit with a diameter of hundreds of meters was created, and soil was splattered everywhere. But to these evil spirits, the most frightening thing was the flames that were flying everywhere. When these flames hit their bodies, it was like gasoline coming into contact with flames. Immediately, a raging fire broke out, burning their entire bodies and turning them into skewers. Ah! Countless evil spirits screamed miserably like pigs being slaughtered. Facing such flames, their resistance was extremely weak, and they were all burnt into charcoal. Hundreds of evil spirits died in a few breaths' time. Such an efficiency of killing caused even the valiant and fearless evil spirits to feel a chill down their spines. You want to kill me by relying on your numbers? You must be dreaming. From now on, I will kill thousands of evil spirits every day. I don't believe that your numbers are endless. Xiaoping sneered, his killing intent like steel. Hearing those words, the hearts of the many nefarious demons turned cold. If this human were to kill over 1,000 of them every day, it would not take long before all of them would be wiped out. After all, no matter how many of them there were, they could not withstand such a massacre. You want to kill thousands of evil spirits every day? You are the one who is dreaming. Today you will die. The evil devil leader roared angrily. He could also feel the threat of this human. If he did not get rid of this human as soon as possible, he was afraid that the evil spirits would face annihilation. Immediately, thousands of evil spirits flew up, covering the sky like a dark cloud. The surrounding air was filled with an astonishing killing intent, causing one's heart to tremble. I'm not playing with you anymore. Xiaoping raised his eyebrows and instantly detonated the remaining fireball bombs on the ground. With a loud boom, a shocking explosion immediately occurred within a 1-kilometer radius. The powerful shockwave swept through the surroundings, sending many evil spirits flying. Large amounts of thick smoke rose and swept through the surroundings, completely surrounding the entire area. Whoosh! Taking advantage of the thick smoke around him, Xiaoping instantly burrowed into the space ring and disappeared. When the thick smoke dissipated, the surrounding evil spirits were shocked to find that the human Xiaoping had long disappeared. How is this possible? One of the evil spirits was stunned. How did that human escape? I did not sense any movement from him at all. It tried its best to sense, but there was no trace of Xiaoping within a 10-kilometer radius. It was as if he had instantly disappeared from this world, without a trace. It was not only this evil spirit. The thousands of evil spirits present were also searching at the same time, but they could not find him. They did not expect Xiaoping to have a spatial ring on him, and even a treasure that could store living things. What's going on? How can this human speed be so fast? He escaped from our tracking in an instant? One of the evil spirits was very shocked. To be able to teleport 10 kilometers in a second, this had already surpassed the Grandmaster level. Only an invincible monarch could do this. The problem was, if this human was a monarch, then he could kill them all with his bare hands. There was no need for him to escape at all. Impossible. Even if he had wings, he would not be able to run so fast. He must have used a trick to hide silently. He must still be nearby. Trying to escape after showing off? Dream on. Search every inch of the ground within a 10-kilometer radius. Check every brick and tile. I don't believe this human has really become a spirit. Many evil spirits were furious. That human had killed so many of their companions, and they were surrounded by thousands of evil spirits, but Xia Ping still managed to escape. This was simply a great humiliation. They were used to being domineering in the celestial demon battlefield, killing people and demons on sight. They had never encountered such grievances before. Chapter 704. At that moment, in a corner of the Skyfae graveyard, die evil demons. You shouldn't exist in this world. The one-horned thunderbull suddenly appeared in front of a group of nefarious demons. Without saying a word, it attacked them. Bang! 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 Immediately, bolts of lightning shot out from its horn, creating clouds and rain. Countless bolts of lightning smashed into the bodies of these evil devils, charring them black. Damn demons! The evil demons that were searching for Xia Pingxing were instantly stunned. They never expected that the demons that only knew how to hide would dare to take the initiative to attack. However, they were also battle-hardened experts and quickly reacted. They were immediately enraged and murderous, eager to kill the bull. They charged at the horned thunderbull. Run! After unleashing a barrage of lightning, the horned thunderbull had no intention of tangling with the evil demons. It frantically waved its hooves, making loud clattering sounds as it fled into the distance as though it did not care for its life. Because its goal was not to kill or injure the evil demons, but to infuriate them. In a remote alley. Foolish evil demons, your brains are stuffed with shit. Even pigs are smarter than you. The three-eyed giant laughed out loud and waved the cudgel in its hand. It launched sneak attacks at the evil demons, smashing their heads into meat paste with each hit. It was simply like a supervillain, wantonly taunting the group of demons. Come on, catch me if you have the guts. I like to see you angry but unable to do anything to me. After killing dozens of evil demons, the three-eyed giant took huge strides and fled in a wretched manner. Kill it. Kill that foolish giant. It still dares to hoot? Destroy it. I want to fucking destroy it right now. The evil demons were infuriated. After killing so many of their companions with a sneak attack, it still dared to taunt them. They could not tolerate it and chased after it in a frenzy. In another alley. Whoosh! Whoosh! Tu Linglong appeared in this place, and she instantly attacked. Countless leg shadows appeared in midair as she kicked out. It was like an all-out attack from a primordial mammoth. The demons that were kicked screamed miserably as they were smashed into meat paste in midair. Large amounts of flesh and blood fell to the ground, dyeing the ground red. Demon, you won't be able to stay arrogant for long. Very soon we will exterminate you all. It's best if you surrender quickly and become our slaves. Otherwise, you won't even be able to do anything. Tu Linglong followed Xia Ping's words and persuaded the group of fiends to surrender. Get lost, little girl. You still want to persuade us to surrender? You're simply blinded by lard. Kill this bitch. Countless evil devils were enraged and chased after her. However, Tu Linglong's speed was too fast. With a light leap, she simply treated the air as if it were land, forming an air barrier that allowed her to instantly leave. Even if those demons had wings, they would not be able to catch up. Other than the frog, the crows of misfortune, metal tigers, widow spiders and other demons were also provoking the group of demons. Few days later, the nefarious fiends of the Sky Demon Graveyard were all filled with anger. Their internal organs were all on fire, but they had no way to vent their anger, making them even angrier. Damn it! A fiend gnashed its teeth. What method does that human Xia Ping use to evade our pursuit? Why is he able to escape without a trace every time we are about to surround him? It was extremely puzzled. Every time a large group surrounded Xia Ping, they would surround him so tightly that not even a drop of water could trickle through. Yet they just could not catch this slippery loach. That bastard human would always kill off hundreds of their companions before escaping without a trace. He was extremely calm. In just a few days they had suffered more than 10,000 casualties. That human is nothing. The most abominable ones are those lackeys. They are simply too arrogant. They have repeatedly provoked us and killed many of us, said another fiend angrily. In the past few days, not only did the human Xia Ping go around provoking them, but even those lackeys did the same. They actually openly came before them and provoked them. Originally, they did not want to bother with such low-level provocations, But after being assassinated several times by those lackeys, even Buddha would be infuriated if he were alive. Immediately, many fiends led a large group to search for the Crow of Misfortune and the other demons. They swore to skin those bastards and pull out their tendons. Only then would they be able to vent their anger. Didn't they say that demons and humans are incompatible like fire and water, and would never interact in this lifetime? Why did those demons become the lackeys of humans? They seem to have even fallen in love with them. Some fiends did not understand. They had seen many humans and demons, but they were all clearly separated. Sometimes they would even fight and kill each other. They definitely did not collude with each other and collude with each other. However, that Xia Ping had subdued those few demons and was willing to work for him. There are so many demons. What's so strange about a few scum appearing? Lowly demons, they don't have any bones at all. They actually became dogs for humans. This is simply preposterous. Of all the things they could do, they actually went to be demons. They deserve to be killed. Many fiends gritted their teeth in anger. They simply wished that they could immediately grab the Crow of Misfortune and the other lackeys and tear them into pieces. However, those demons were also slippery. When they saw that the situation was not good, they all fled quickly. Leader, we can't go on like this. Master is furious now. He said that if we don't capture that human Xia Ping, he will flip out. A fiend trembled. Many fiends trembled as well. They absolutely did not wish to see the soul-devouring beast's wrath. Don't worry. That human definitely can't escape. The fiend leader sneered. I have already laid down an inescapable net and surrounded that human. No matter how crafty he is, he won't be able to escape this encirclement. He's dead for sure. What do you mean? Many fiends were very curious. The fiend leader indicated that he had already mobilized 80% of the fiends in the Heaven Demon graveyard. Hundreds of thousands of troops had formed a huge encirclement around where Xia Ping had appeared. Then the fiend army's defensive line would constantly shrink. When the time came, that human would not be able to escape no matter how he struggled. Brilliant. Truly brilliant. This is like catching a turtle in a jar. A fiend was enlightened. Although that human is jumping around very fiercely now, he has long fallen into our trap. He has fallen into an inescapable net. As long as our army constantly compress his living space, he will definitely have no place to hide. Many fiends revealed looks of delight. They seemed to see the human Xia Ping struggling no matter how much he struggled. He would constantly kneel on the ground and beg for mercy. That's great. Leader, when we capture that human Xia Ping alive, I'll definitely torture him ruthlessly. Otherwise, our dead companions will not be able to rest in peace. Yes, and that human's lackey demons. They have to die too. Those lackeys are the most detestable. They are even more detestable than Xia Ping. They are like flies that can't be killed, but they often harass you. They have killed more fiends than Xia Ping. Capture those demon lackeys. I want to tear them to pieces and torture them until they wish they were dead. Chapter 705. A day later. On the main street of the ruined city, Xia Ping used the Kuanpeng steps to move quickly. Behind him were thousands of evil demons chasing him relentlessly. In fact, if someone were to look down from the sky, with Xia Ping as the center, within a radius of a dozen miles, countless evil demons were swarming over, forming a huge encirclement. Under such circumstances, no one would be able to escape even if they had wings. Aren't you afraid of death? How dare you chase after me? Do you know how many evil demons have died in the past few days? Xia Ping shouted as he ran, trying to scare the group of evil demons. What's there to be afraid of? None of us evil demons are afraid of death. You will definitely die today. Let's see where else you can run to. We've already set up an inescapable net. You won't be able to escape even if you have wings. The group of evil demons sneered. They looked at Xia Ping in disdain. They weren't shaken by Xia Ping's threat at all. Instead, they were extremely excited. This kid finally knew what fear was. Previously, this human was extremely arrogant and would launch sneak attacks at random. God knows how many of their companions were killed by this human's flames. Many evil demons were burned to death by this human's flames. But now they had set up an inescapable net. No matter where this human ran to, He would be surrounded by a large number of evil demons. There was nowhere for him to run. To be honest, we can actually be friends. No matter how big the conflict is, we can discuss and solve it. Why don't we coexist peacefully? Why must both sides suffer? Xiaoping gave his suggestion. After running for a while, he revealed a panting look as if he would run out of energy very soon. Keep my ass. The group of evil demons looked at Xiaoping in disdain. You didn't say that when you killed countless of their companions. You even boasted that you could slaughter dozens of evil demons and be invincible. You even asked their boss to come out and die. You were so arrogant. Now that he knew that he was surrounded and his life was under great threat, he started to want to be friends with evil demons and discuss a solution. Unless their brains were filled with water, they wouldn't care about this human's stupid request. Today they had to capture this human alive and torture him until he didn't look like a human anymore. Human, you're right. We can actually be friends. If you think about it carefully, your words are very reasonable. I agree with you very much. Yeah, why don't you stop now and we can have a meeting together? A few demons shouted loudly. They hoped that Xiaoping would stop and have a meeting with them to discuss how to solve this matter and find a way to coexist peacefully. However, more of the evil spirits were sneering. This was a ruse. If this human dared to stop, they would immediately attack and capture him alive. They would completely break his limbs so that he would no longer have the strength to escape. If you want to have a meeting, that's fine. Why don't you make the demon army retreat, and we'll find another place to hold the meeting. I think this is beneficial to both parties. Xiaoping wanted this group of demons to retreat. Bullshit. Many of the nefarious devils looked at Xiaoping with disdain. Did this brat think that he could make them retreat with just a few words? They must be crazy to do such a stupid thing. However, they were extremely pleased. This human was definitely at his wits' end to say such words. Previously, this brat had been extremely arrogant, boasting that he would kill thousands of evil spirits every day, and that he would soon wipe out all the evil spirits in the sky demon graveyard. This scared them a little. But such an arrogant human had disappeared, and he even wanted to have a peace talk with them. If this human had not been forced into a corner by them, why would he say such words? Dream on, human. If you want our evil spirit army to retreat, you must first put down your weapons and surrender. Only if you kneel and surrender will there be a negotiation. If you resist stubbornly, you're dead. The group of evil spirits said smugly. They looked at Xiaoping with disdain and mockery, as if they were looking at a defeated opponent. They had spent so much effort, mobilizing 80% of the entire Sky Demon Graveyard's combat power, conducting a large-scale search, and digging 3 feet into the ground. Wasn't this scene just to see? And now they finally saw this damned human's panicked expression. At this moment, Xiaoping seemed to be in a panic and ran into a square. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment in the sky, north, south, east, and west, black clouds immediately flew over, blotting out the sky. Countless evil spirits flew over. They surrounded Xiaoping. In an instant, the entire square was surrounded so tightly that not even a drop of water could trickle through. They all stared at Xiaoping with murderous intent, their eyes filled with mockery. Xiaoping looked at the evil spirits around him with a look of despair. He looked at the evil spirits in front of him and swallowed a mouthful of saliva. May I ask if you can give me better treatment as a captive if I surrender now? Tens of thousands of evil spirits appeared in the square, and outside the square, there was also a dense horde of evil spirits that blotted out the sky. Even a fly could forget about leaving such a tight defense. Surrender? I told you to surrender before, but you didn't. Now that you're forced into a corner, you want to surrender? It's too late. Run, damned human. You were so good at running before, why aren't you running now? After killing so many of our companions, we've finally caught the culprit. Today, we'll kill you to avenge our fallen companions and wash away the humiliation. That's right, where are your lackeys? Where are they? Get them to scram out immediately. I'm going to kill them and tear them into pieces as well. Countless evil spirits glared at Xiaoping fiercely, their terrifying killing intent filling the surroundings. Many of them were angered by Xiaoping, but most of them were enraged by the crows of misfortune and the other demons. They couldn't find the whereabouts of the crows of misfortune and the others, but they found Xiaoping. They believed that it would be easy for them to find those scourges through this human. They could just wipe them all out at once. For the past few days, they had been driven mad by Xiaoping and the other bastards. Now that they were filled with anger, they wanted to vent it on this human. The number of people seems to be almost gathered. Xiaoping looked at the evil spirits around him and smiled. What he had been planning for a long time had finally come true. Damn it, this human seems to be up to no good. Could it be that he wants to do something bad? In the distance, when the leader of the evil spirits saw Xiaoping's smile, it felt a strong sense of unease. However, it couldn't understand why it felt uneasy. Do you think that you can do whatever you want to me just because you've surrounded me? You're dreaming. Xiaoping sneered, you're scheming against me, but I'm also scheming against you. You still want me to die? Today, the ones who will die will be you. Chapter 706. Oh no, I've been tricked. All of a sudden, the leader of the evil demon's sixth sense warned it that it had to leave. Otherwise it would definitely die. However, it was too late to escape now. Even if it had wings, it wouldn't be able to fly away. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiaoping immediately detonated the hundreds of miniature nuclear bombs buried underground. In the next second, he disappeared on the spot and entered the space ring. With the protection of the space ring, no matter how powerful the bombs were, they wouldn't be able to harm him at all. Rumble, in the blink of an eye, hundreds of miniature nuclear bombs were detonated. A terrifying explosion erupted. It was unknown how powerful the explosives were, but the area within a radius of more than 10 miles was covered. With Xiaoping at the center, the ground was immediately blasted into a deep pit, with a diameter of several kilometers. A black mushroom cloud rose into the air with a loud rumble. Even people who were dozens of kilometers away could feel the shockwaves of the explosion. The most terrifying thing was the shockwaves produced by the explosion. They condensed into a substance and surged out in all directions like a storm, destroying everything. No, no, no. Human, you and I will not live under the same sky. The evil demons were so shocked that their eyes almost popped out of their sockets. They were so scared that they almost peed their pants. They didn't expect this human to be so ruthless as to directly detonate so many bombs. Could it be that this human was so unafraid of death that he didn't care about his own life and wanted to perish together with them? They couldn't understand why this human would do this even if they were beaten to death. The moment they sensed the explosion, they frantically fled outside. Some flew into the air, some burrowed into the ground, and some tried to find shelter. But it was useless. Under the explosion of hundreds of miniature nuclear bombs, nothing could stop them. The shockwaves were simply all-pervasive. Any living creature within the range of the explosion would be killed and turned into a pile of meat paste. Thinking about how arrogant they were previously, relying on their numbers to run amok and hunt unscrupulously, they didn't put Xiaoping and the others in their eyes at all. They treated them like livestock that would be slaughtered the moment they caught them. But now all of them were like stray dogs, frantically fleeing just to survive. In the face of such power, the so-called evil demons were just slightly larger ants. Human, I won't let you off even if I become a ghost. The evil devil chief was furious. It had ruled over hundreds of thousands of evil devils and was above tens of thousands of people. Its status was extremely high, but now it was going to die here so easily. How could it be willing? It fled frantically, trying to survive. If they were careless, even a demon king would be severely injured or even die without a complete corpse. However, they had only heard of it before and had never seen it for themselves. Now that they saw it, all of them felt a lingering fear. If Xiaoping had used such a weapon before, none of them would have been able to escape and would have been blown to pieces. What a shocking explosion! Although humans are very weak, they can create such a shocking bomb. They cannot be underestimated. Three-Eyed Giant's expression was solemn. If it had stayed at the scene, it would probably have been blown to pieces within a breath's time, and not even its bones would have been left. However, that human actually took the initiative to attack. He attracted the group of demons to the ambush and detonated the bomb at the same time. The explosion spread more than 10 kilometers. Can he escape? Metal Tiger was slightly doubtful. No matter how fast Xiaoping was, it was impossible for him to be faster than the speed of the bomb's explosion. If he wanted to escape from the center of the explosion in an instant, he would have to be at least at the king realm. You're really thinking too much. That human is simply evil. Only others will suffer, and he won't suffer. Since he dared to volunteer to detonate the bomb, he must have a perfect way to escape, Tu Linglong said with disdain. Tu Linglong spoke with disdain. She didn't believe that the human really possessed such noble sentiments that he would rather sacrifice himself in order to annihilate that group of devils. I'm convinced. Metal Tiger nodded and had nothing to say. Hearing this, Three-Eyed Giant and the other demons nodded in agreement. If this shameless human was to sacrifice himself, it would be easier to let the world be destroyed. Chapter 707. The huge explosion in this place also affected other places, which was sensed by many demons and human elites nearby. After all, it was impossible for them to not know about such a huge commotion. What's going on? Why did such a huge commotion suddenly happen? I've heard this sound before during military exercises. It seems to be the sound of a nuclear bomb exploding. Are you kidding me? A nuclear bomb explosion? Which madman brought a nuclear bomb in? Many humans and demons looked in the direction of the earthquake. They felt the ground trembling, and they felt a little unsteady. The houses trembled as if they were about to collapse. They felt a trace of trepidation. I don't know why, and there's no evidence, but I have a feeling that this is very likely the work of that bitch Xiaoping. An elite student had a strange expression as he expressed his opinion. I feel the same way. Brother, you said what I'm thinking. It's definitely that scourge who did it. Other than that bastard, who else could do such a thing? I just don't know why. The number of evil demons seemed to have decreased a lot, as if they were attracted by something. Let's go take a look and see what exactly happened. We have to go. Otherwise, we won't even know how we died if we were tricked by that bastard. Many humans and demons were shocked by the earth-shattering explosion. It was unknown how many people could be killed by such an intense shockwave. The area within a radius of more than 10 kilometers was affected, and it could be felt hundreds of kilometers away. It was no less than a magnitude 7 or 8 earthquake. All of them were a little flustered. They didn't know what kind of trouble that bitch Xiaoping had caused. If they didn't figure it out as soon as possible, they wouldn't be able to sleep or eat in peace. More than 10 minutes later, the explosion finally stopped. However, the area with Xiaoping as the center had a shocking crater blown up. The soil was charred black and even burned at high temperatures, causing the soil to melt into magma, constantly emitting white smoke. Even the central area was filled with extremely high temperatures, hundreds or even thousands of degrees. Even steel would melt under such high temperatures, and the air seemed to be distorted. Shocking cracks appeared on the ground, and the cracks stretched for more than 10 kilometers like a spider web. The surrounding houses collapsed one after another, and rubble flew everywhere. Corpses of fiend demons also appeared in the surroundings. Some were burnt to a crisp, some were split into pieces, and some were crushed to death by rocks. There were all kinds of deaths, and the air was filled with an unpleasant burning smell, as if they were in hell. Pa! At this moment, the rubble rolled and a figure immediately appeared in the center of the explosion. This person was obviously Xiaoping. He hid in the spatial ring for more than 10 minutes. When the power of the explosion stopped and he felt that there was no longer any danger, he decided to come out of the spatial ring. Although the temperature outside was very high, but for Xiaoping, who cultivated the pure yang immortal incantation, it was just child's play. After circulating his qigong slightly, he adapted to the temperature. How tragic! Xiaoping looked around and immediately saw the corpses of the fiend devils on the ground that had been burnt to a crisp. They were no longer as arrogant as before. As for the leader of the nefarious devils, he was reduced to ashes, leaving nothing behind. After this ordeal, the fiends in the Sky Demon graveyard were probably completely wiped out. Even if there were any left, they would not be able to pose any threat to humans or demons. There seems to be a strange energy fluctuation nearby. Are there still fiends alive? Xiaoping's eyes flashed. His psyche sensed that the spirit chi nearby was in chaos, as though there was something there. Whoosh! His figure flickered and he immediately arrived at the source of the disturbance, arriving in a house. He saw a huge corpse lying in the middle of the house. It seemed to be a wolf demon with 3 heads and black fur. Each hair was like a steel needle. It was massive, standing 5 to 6 meters tall and weighing several tons. Its entire body was covered in bulging muscles, filled with explosive strength. It was impossible to imagine how much strength it had. Even though it had been dead for countless years, it still seemed to exude a terrifying killing aura. It had the aura of a tiger that would not fall even in death. This is a demon king. Xiaoping sensed the tyrannical aura and immediately knew that this corpse that had been dead for countless years was definitely left behind by a demon king. Furthermore, it was no ordinary demon king. Otherwise, it would not have been able to resist the passage of time and not rot. There's even a treasured sword. Soon Xiaoping noticed that the demon king's chest was stabbed with a 3-foot-long sword. It was entirely red, as though a fire dragon had condensed from it. The surrounding air distorted, and one could vaguely make out a true dragon soaring in midair. With the sword as the center, it constantly emitted astonishing fluctuations. It was as though this sword had killed the invincible demon king, even piercing its heart. A treasured artifact. This is definitely a treasured artifact. Xiaoping was immediately overjoyed. He never expected to find the corpse of a demon king here, and a treasured artifact at that. The treasured artifact seemed to be frantically resisting the shockwaves from the nuclear explosion. Now that its energy had been depleted, it temporarily lost its true might. It could be said that this was the moment when the treasured artifact was at its weakest. A good chance. Xiaoping's eyes lit up. He had previously found many treasured artifacts in the Sky Demon graveyard, but every one of them was extremely ferocious. Ordinary people simply could not get close. But things were different now. The treasured artifact was weakened by the nuclear explosion, and could not exert much of its power for the time being. If he took advantage of this opportunity to completely control the sword, it would not be able to escape. Whoosh! Xiaoping stepped forward and grabbed the 3-foot-long verdant peak. Boom! Immediately, the red sword seemed to sense an unknown threat. Like a cat that had its tail stepped on, the power within the sword suddenly erupted. Terrifying flames spread from the depths of the treasure, crackling as though it wanted to incinerate everything in the world. The temperature rose wildly, destroying everything. But this bit of temperature was nothing but a drizzle to Xiaoping, not even worth mentioning. Refine. Xiaoping's eyes revealed a cold glint. He circulated the pure yang immortal art, and injected an extremely pure power of fire into the sword. Bang! After receiving the infusion of the power of fire, the sword suddenly shook violently, as though it had received a huge supplement of energy. It let out a faint dragon's roar. The originally incomparably violent flame submitted at this moment. It's already submitted? Xiaoping was overjoyed. He clearly sensed that the sword's resistance had weakened by who knew how many times. It seemed to have recognized him as its master. His spiritual force immediately permeated it and left his spiritual imprint. Chapter 708. Boom! When Xiaoping completely controlled the sword, the surrounding flames were immediately absorbed. Then a fire dragon pattern appeared on the sword. There seemed to be many fire characters engraved on it, containing incredible power. Fire Dragon Divine Sword. Subconsciously, Xiaoping felt an inexplicable aura from the sword. Countless information flowed in the depths of his mind. It seemed that this was the true name of the sword. I wonder how powerful it is? Xiaoping held the sword and gently slashed it. The true essence in his body surged, causing the sword to shine brightly. A mysterious power of fire seemed to draw in the fire elements of heaven and earth. Countless flames gathered together, condensing into a sharp, high-temperature fire sword energy. Bang! He gently slashed at the wall on the ground. The incomparably sharp fire sword energy exploded, breaking through layers of obstacles. Immediately, the rocks on the ground were cut like tofu, leaving deep cracks. The flames boiled and crackled. The broken rocks were immediately burned by the flames. In a few breaths, the broken rocks were melted into lava by the flames. What a sharp sword energy, what a powerful flame! Xiaoping was instantly delighted. He felt that this Fire Dragon Divine Sword was definitely an extremely powerful sword. It was incomparably sharp and indestructible. When he held it in his hand, it could at least increase his attack power by several times. Ordinary objects could not withstand the sharp energy of this sword. Could even cut through iron like mud. No wonder this demon king died under this sword. Its heart was pierced by the sword. It seems that this sword is indeed an incredible treasure. Xia Ping was very satisfied. He did not expect that detonating the nuclear bomb would give him such benefits. Not only did he obtain the corpse of a demon king, but he also obtained an incomparably sharp sword. This time he was rich. Beep! At this moment the system's warning sounded. Host, please pay attention. The soul-devouring beast has developed a strong killing intent towards Master. It has the emotion of hatred. It will pursue Master to the end. What? Hearing this, Xia Ping's eyes flashed. After killing so many demons, it should have consumed most of its strength. But now it still had the strength to pursue him. Boom! In the next second, a huge amount of information surged into Xia Ping's mind, and images appeared one after another. The soul-devouring beast roared crazily in the dark space as a violent dark energy surged. The gigantic chains rattled as if they were about to be torn apart. These voices were like demonic sounds. Ordinary creatures would go crazy and completely lose their rationality upon hearing them. Very quickly, a wisp of mysterious energy split off from the soul-devouring beast's body and continuously devoured the surrounding spiritual energy. It slowly took shape and finally transformed into a smaller version of the soul-devouring beast that was about 4 to 5 meters tall. Even though its body was a size smaller, the demonic might it released still made people's hearts palpitate. It was as if this powerful demonic chi caused the air to distort, creating an illusion of hell. Host, because the soul-devouring beast developed a strong hatred for the host, it paid a great price and tore apart a part of its soul to form an avatar. The system said, this doppelganger not only has a part of the soul-eating beast's abilities, but it also has a cultivation at the peak of the Grandmaster realm. It can sense the aura of the soul, and ordinary hiding methods are useless against it. It expressed that Xia Ping was extremely dangerous, provoking a powerful monster. If he wasn't careful, he would be killed. Fight to the death? Interesting. In order to kill me, it would rather split its soul and condense an avatar. I'd like to see who will kill who. Xia Ping clenched his fists, murderous. He was very upset. This soul-devouring beast was probably used to being arrogant. It never put anyone in its eyes. Any prey it took a fancy to, any enemy that opposed it, would be completely destroyed by it. No one could stop it. It had an arrogant character. It would never allow itself to fail. But this time he wanted to tell this extremely evil magical beast that it had provoked the wrong person, and that there were creatures in this world that it could never offend. Congratulations to the host, because the soul-devouring beast has a strong killing intent towards the host. You have gained a total of 30 million hatred points. The system prompted. Xia Ping's eyes flashed. He had spent 20 million hatred points to buy the demon-controlling talisman before, and he still had 25 million left. Now with 30 million, he had a total of 55 million hatred points. It could be said that because of the soul-devouring beast, he had suddenly earned back the hatred points. However, because the soul-devouring beast was sealed, its strength was reduced by more than half, and the power of hatred was also reduced by a lot, so it was only 30 million hatred points. If he had provoked the tyrannical soul-devouring beast in his heyday, it was estimated that it would be an astronomical amount of hatred points, and it was possible to get rich overnight. But if that was the case, he would be dead, and no one would be able to save him. Those hatred points were just fleeting clouds, and it was better to be more practical now. No, it's not that easy to fight against the soul-devouring beast avatar with just this strength. I must be promoted to the Grandmaster realm. Xia Ping had a strong sense of urgency. He felt that it was not so easy to deal with the soul-devouring beast avatar. Even if he had a nuclear bomb on him, it would be very difficult to plot against the other party. After all, the experts who had reached the king realm and above had the power to foresee danger, so it was almost impossible to plot against the king realm experts. Perhaps there were experts who could do this kind of thing and deceive the perception of the king realm, but obviously Xia Ping could not do this kind of thing now. Therefore, he must become stronger in order to compete with the soul-devouring beast avatar. If I want to advance to the Grandmaster realm in a short time, I must find a peerless elixir. By the way, the white spirit ginseng fruit. Xiaoping suddenly remembered the information given to him by teacher Qiuxue. If he could get a white spirit ginseng fruit, then it would be easy for him to break through to the Grandmaster realm. After all, he had already opened 7 or 8 meridians, and there were still 4 more to open 108 meridians. All the meridians in his body were opened, and he had the qualifications to be promoted to the Grandmaster realm. Thinking of this, Xiaoping did not intend to waste time here because it was not long before the soul-devouring beast brewed its avatar. He had to leave this place one step ahead of time. He immediately put the flame dragon divine sword and the corpse of the demon king into his interspatial ring. Whoosh! Xiaoping's figure flickered, and he used the Kuanpeng steps to quickly leave this place. An hour later, he appeared at the entrance of the Sky Demon Cemetery. But at this time, the entrance of the Sky Demon Cemetery was already surrounded by thousands of evil demons. They blocked this place, not letting anyone out. Chapter 709. A human has come to die. Haha, another one has come to die. They are simply coming wave after wave. Kill him, roast him and eat him. Seeing Xiaoping appear in this place, all the nefarious devils were alarmed. All of them glared at Xiaoping covetously, as if they were looking at prey. They emitted a terrifying killing intent, and their eyes were filled with mockery. Some humans and monsters had tried to break out, but they all died and became food in their stomachs. Human. The leader of the evil spirit stood out and looked at Xiaoping ferociously. I'll give you 2 choices. One is to kill yourself. That way, you won't have to suffer any physical pain and won't need to be tortured. The second is to resist stubbornly. We'll kill you ourselves. At that time, you'll be tortured to a state worse than death. There are only 2 choices. Choose one. It was very domineering and unreasonable. It gave Xiaoping 2 choices, but no matter which one it was a dead end. The other evil spirits looked very arrogant. They all felt that this was a matter of course. They had the advantage in numbers. No matter how this kid jumped, he couldn't escape from their palms. Choose my ass. Who do you think you are to give me 2 choices? Why don't you just die? Xiaoping's eyes revealed a hint of coldness. He immediately attacked the group of evil spirits, not wasting any words. The spirit bewitching bell. In an instant, he took out the treasure and poured his earth energy into it. In a few breaths, he had activated the deepest power of the treasure. Ring ring, ring ring ring, with the spirit bewitching bell as the center, the area within a radius of a few hundred meters was immediately enveloped by a strange sound. A strong and strange spiritual wave enveloped the area. The group of evil spirits was caught off guard and fell into the trap. They felt as if their souls were being ruthlessly bombarded by a huge iron hammer. They felt dizzy and lost their consciousness for a moment. Die! Xiaoping held the flame dragon sword in his right hand and slashed at the evil spirits. For seasoned sword technique, continuous spring rain. From the flame dragon sword, streams of sword chi immediately burst out. These sword chi condensed and turned into the size of raindrops, falling from the sky. However, this sword chi rain was no ordinary sword chi. It was extremely tough like cowhide. At the same time, it was indestructible, capable of cutting through steel. In fact, these sword chis contain the power of flames, appearing deep red in color. The entire air seemed to be ignited by these flames. Crackling sounds rang out, and the temperature rose rapidly. The rain that fell was no ordinary rain. It was a rain of sword chi, a rain of flames. In an instant, countless flaming sword chi burst out and bombarded these evil demons. Bang bang bang. One evil spirit beast after another was struck by the sword chi, and their bodies were sliced into countless pieces. Their heads, hands, legs, and other parts of their bodies were all easily sliced off, and their blood splattered on the ground. In fact, the sword energy contained a terrifying power of fire. When it came into contact with the bodies of the evil devils, it was as if they had come into contact with gas, and they immediately ignited. The bodies of these demons turned into huge torches, burning crazily. No, no, no. One by one, the evil spirits let out shrill screams. When they regained consciousness, they discovered that they had already been sliced into dozens of pieces by Xia Ping's sword. They were powerless to fight back. Intense pain spread throughout their bodies. Every nerve seemed to be tingling, but they did not have the strength to resist at all. They could only scream in pain. In a few breaths, hundreds of evil spirits were killed. The leader of the evil spirits was the most miserable. It was the focus of Xia Ping's attacks. Dozens of sword qi attacked it, and it was immediately sliced into pieces. It did not even have the chance to scream. Perhaps it did not even know how it died when it died. The Flame Dragon Divine Sword, the 4-season swordsmanship, and Xia Ping's peak martial master strength and the power of his earth energy combined together. In an instant he exploded with the power of a grandmaster, sweeping away all enemies. Treasured weapon. This human has a treasured weapon. So what if he has a treasured weapon? We have the numbers advantage. We can overwhelm him to death. Despicable human, let's attack together and kill him. The surrounding evil spirits were dumbfounded, and they were all furious. Seeing that this human had killed so many of their companions in an instant, they were all furious. They wanted nothing more than to cut Xia Ping into countless pieces. Fool! I don't know how many evil spirits I've killed. You want to overwhelm me to death? What a joke. Even 100 zeros add up to 0. Xia Ping sneered. He used the second strike with all his might. He had no intention of holding back. He wanted to end the battle quickly and leave the Sky Demon graveyard. He wanted to obtain the White Spirit Ginseng fruit and ascend to Grandmaster. Therefore, he did not have the time to fool around with this group of evil spirits. The third move of the 4-season swordsmanship, Rustling Autumn Wind. This move was the sword move with the most concentrated killing intent in the 4-season swordsmanship. It existed for the sole purpose of killing. Every strike contained fatal killing intent. With this strike, Xia Ping's terrifying killing intent enveloped a radius of 1,000 meters. It was as if autumn had come at this moment. The autumn wind rustled, and all things were silent. Withered leaves withered, and any life would wither at this moment. It was like the twilight of the gods. Whoosh! Whoosh! Flaming sword qi erupted, but such flames were not violent or destructive. Instead, they emitted a hint of coldness. It was an extreme coldness that chilled one to the bone. The flames of the world were not always hot and could burn everything. There were also flames that froze everything. They contained the killing intent of autumn, like the bone-freezing fire, the flames of death born from the depths of the yellow springs. Although this was not the true flames of death, just a fledgling form, it was enough to send chills down the spines of life. Bang! 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 One evil spirit after another flew through the air. They did not even have time to react as wisps of flame swept past. Sword qi like silk slashed at their necks. With a squelch, a trace of blood appeared on their necks. Their entire heads fell to the ground with a smooth cut. Their eyes were filled with shock, as if they did not expect to die just like that. With just a gentle breeze, they discovered that their heads had been removed. They did not even know how they died. Suddenly, in a few breaths, Xia Ping slashed a few times. More than 1,000 evil spirits were slain. They fell from the sky like dumplings, rumbling loudly. This human is a monster. Even though this group of evil spirits did not fear death, they were shocked by Xia Ping's ferocity at this moment. They did not come forward to kill Xia Ping. Instead, they went forward to die one by one. If Yongmeng could kill their enemies, they would naturally not be afraid. The problem was that Yongmeng was only going to die. They were lining up to be executed. They hesitated, wondering if this would be of any use. Good chance. Chapter 7:10. Swoosh. At this moment, Xia Ping had transformed into a Kuan-Peng. His speed was extremely fast, like a bolt of lightning. Even the soul-sucking bell on his body kept ringing, emanating strange mental fluctuations that affected the demons within a radius of hundreds of meters. All of them were shaken dizzy. Even though the surrounding demons wanted to surround Xia Ping, they were also affected by the soul-sucking bell. One by one they screamed and fell to the ground, clutching their heads and rolling around frantically. In a breath's time, he rushed out of the entrance of the Sky Demon Cemetery and came to the outside. Damn it! Damn human, don't even think about escaping. Are humans so cowardly? If you have the guts, stay and fight us for 300 rounds. Seeing Xiaoping leave, the group of demons were dumbfounded. They wanted to chase after him, but the cemetery's restrictive array formation restrained them, preventing them from leaving. In the end, they could only watch helplessly as Xiaoping left this place. Xiaoping ignored the roars of the demons. In his eyes, these demons were not as important as him advancing to the Grandmaster realm. Once he advanced to the Grandmaster realm, he would kill these demons like pigs and dogs. Swoosh! A few minutes later, Xiaoping finally arrived at a remote valley in the Sky Demon Cemetery according to the map given by Qiushu. Oh, this place. After arriving at this place, Xiaoping suddenly discovered that there was no valley at all. Instead, it was a barren land surrounded by low mountains. There was not even a plant. The ground was charred black and gravel was everywhere. There was no life to speak of, as if there were no living beings within a radius of several kilometers. This place was completely different from the valley described by Qiushu. He immediately felt that Qiushu had made a mistake and given him the wrong map. No, there's something strange here. Xiaoping's mental strength spread out and immediately sensed that the air was filled with a mysterious power that seemed to distort his mental perception. If not for his powerful mental strength, he would not have sensed the strangeness here. Golden Crow Eye. Xiaoping immediately opened his eyes. His left eye seemed to surge with a huge flame, like a sun spinning in the depths of his pupil. In an instant he stimulated an incredible eye power that could see through everything. Immediately he saw through this place. It should have been a barren hill, but under the Golden Crow Eye, the environment of this place had undergone a completely different change. It was full of vitality and lush greenery. Birds sang, flowers bloomed, and countless trees stood. The depths of the valley were filled with a rich fragrance that made one feel relaxed and happy. There's a natural soul confusion array here. Once you get close, it can distort your senses and create illusions. Xiaoping immediately understood why such a situation had occurred. At the same time, he also understood why this valley had never been discovered despite being so close to the Heavenly Demon Cemetery. When ordinary people pass by this place, even grandmasters, they would be confused by the natural formations here. They would just treat it as an ordinary hill and pass by quickly. In fact, if Qiushu hadn't been chased by the demons and luckily passed by this place, she wouldn't have discovered this mysterious valley. Thinking of this, Xiaoping did not hesitate and immediately walked forward. Boom! Immediately, the scenery around him changed dramatically. It was as if he had walked into a paradise. He had come to a valley full of vitality, and the surroundings were filled with dense spiritual qi. Xiaoping could feel that his 108,000 pores were greedily sucking in the spiritual qi here. This place was full of vitality and contained a dense life force, completely different from the outside world. He used his mental strength to sense the surroundings but did not find any living beings. He continued deeper into the valley and was surprised to find a towering tree that was 100 meters tall growing here. And on the tree there was a white spirit fruit. It was snow-white in color and had unique silver patterns on it. It emitted a silver glow that was dazzling like a full moon. White spirit ginseng fruit. Xiaoping immediately knew that this was the legendary spirit fruit of heaven and earth. White spirit ginseng fruit. What a rich medicinal effect. It's at least 500 years old. Xiaoping clenched his fists. He could sense that this spirit fruit contained a rich medicinal effect that was extraordinary. He knew that if he consumed it, it would definitely help him break through to the Grandmaster realm. Fortunately, there was a natural soul confusion array here that could isolate the outside world. Otherwise, this white spirit ginseng fruit would have been snatched away by others. How could it be his turn? Pa! Xiaoping jumped lightly and immediately plucked the white spirit ginseng fruit from the branch. Without a word, he bit down on this spirit fruit that was more than 500 years old. It melted in his mouth. He felt that this spirit fruit instantly melted into boundless energy that flowed through his throat and into his body, entering every cell. This white spirit ginseng fruit contained an unknown amount of essence of heaven and earth. The energy it contained wasn't something that ordinary spirit herbs could compare to. If it was released to the outside world, it would be priceless. Perhaps even king tiers would want it. So comfortable. Xiaoping sat down cross-legged and circulated the pure yang immortal art. The sun furnace in the depths of his dantian revolved slowly, devouring the boundless energy and transforming it into his own. It was unknown how many trillions of cells in his body were greedily absorbing this energy. Boundless true essence flowed around his meridians like a great river. Chapter 7:11. What was a Grandmaster? That was the realm of breaking through the void and entering the introspective convalescence realm. The so-called gods weren't gods or gods like God, angels, Sanqing, or Buddha. Instead, they referred to the numerous acupoints in the body. These acupoints controlled the life and death of humans. They were like gods. Some acupoints could kill humans with a light poke. Some could cure illnesses and strengthen one's immunity. Some could increase one's reaction speed and so on. One could imagine how important acupoints were to humans. After reaching the Grandmaster realm, one's mental energy had increased tremendously. One could see the minute details and clearly sense every acupoint in one's body. Although one had to clear 9 acupoints in the martial warrior realm, those were the easiest acupoints to sense. In fact, there were 108 more important acupoints in one's body that had yet to be sensed. Only when one reached the Grandmaster realm and condensed astral energy would one be able to sense these acupoints clearly. There were 9 levels in the Grandmaster realm, and each level was stronger than the previous. Only by clearing all 108 acupoints in one's body and completely controlling one's body would one be able to reach the peak of the Grandmaster realm. Only then would one have a chance to step into the King realm. Is this the Grandmaster realm? Xia Ping sensed that after clearing 1 acupoint and advancing to the Grandmaster realm, the entire world seemed to have gone through an earth-shattering change. His mental energy was growing rapidly. Within a radius of 10 kilometers, he could clearly sense that his mental energy had doubled. If he circulated the epic of heaven now, everything within a radius of 1 kilometer would be affected. What a powerful force! Xia Ping clenched his fists. It was as though a light clench could even cause the air to explode. This force was many times stronger than before. The vast true origin energy in his body was converted by the sun furnace and rapidly condensed into astral energy. It surged into this newly opened acupoint, causing rumbling sounds to ring out. This acupoint was very big. Although it was smaller than the Dantian's Qi Si, the amount of astral energy it contained was many times more than a meridian. It was like a lake. All the astral energy surged into this acupoint. Under the circulation of the pure yang immortal art, it seemed to undergo an inconceivable change, slowly condensing into the image of a golden crow of hell. It was as if there was a golden crow of hell residing in this acupoint. He was extremely shocked. If he could open 108 acupoints, wouldn't he have 108 golden crows of hell in his body? At that time, how powerful would he become? Dong! He punched out lightly. Along the way, a series of air explosions occurred, and the fist energy condensed into a substance. Hundreds of meters away, a piece of rock exploded and turned into powder in an instant. Grandmasters are indeed powerful. Although Xia Ping already had astral energy before, he was only a martial master at that time. Controlling astral energy was like a child playing with a knife. He was very unfamiliar with it and did not have enough strength. But now that he had reached Zhongshe realm, his mental energy had increased significantly. As such, it was extremely easy for him to control the power of his stellar energy. With a punch in the air, all the force in Xiao Chen's body burst forth, tearing through the air and turning it into stellar energy. This kind of strength was much stronger than a martial master. They were not on the same level at all. Only with the power of earth energy could he resist missiles and demolish a skyscraper with his bare hands. Moreover, when he reached Zhongshe realm, he had perfect control of his body. With a punch, he could mobilize all the force in his body. If he was a martial master, he could only mobilize part of his body's strength. Therefore, the fist energy of a Zhongshe realm was much more destructive, even if it was against the same strength. At this time, when Xia Ping reached Zhongshe realm, he also felt that the golden crow of hell cells in his body seemed to be unsealed and completely integrated into his body. 1, 2, 10, 20, 30, 50, 70, 99. In the end, he had awakened 100 golden crow of hell cells. When he awakened 100 golden crow of hell cells, Xiaoping's strength increased crazily. His muscles and bones were further tempered and strengthened. Even his astral energy was purified. At the same time, he felt a wonderful power surging out of his body. When he awakened 100 Golden Crow of Hell cells, another special ability of the Golden Crow of Hell was born in his body. This feeling. Xiaoping suddenly felt that his back was very itchy, as if something was about to grow. From the depths of his spine, a mysterious Golden Crow energy seeped out. Rumble, after a few breaths, a pair of solid wings suddenly grew out of his back. The wings seemed to be made of flames, and each feather was the purest essence of the sun. With a light flap, he seemed to be able to easily control the power of fire in the world. As long as he willed it, he could create a huge fire. Even a heavy rain couldn't extinguish it. Such a light feeling. Xiaoping felt that his body was unprecedentedly relaxed. Countless air currents wrapped around his body, as if he had become the favorite of the world. It was as if this pair of wings was the ruler of the wind. All the air currents in the world were under the control of this pair of wings. Xiaoping felt as if he had turned into an angel at this moment, with the power to fly. With a light flap of his wings, he could fly high into the sky and soar freely. His speed was no slower than that of a plane. The legendary rock could soar 90,000 miles into the sky with a flap of its wings. The Golden Crow of Hell was a divine beast that was even more powerful than the rock. Its wings contained all kinds of powers. When its bloodline reached a high level, it could even escape into the void and roam the universe. This pair of wings seems to be more powerful than the rock steps. Xiaoping's spiritual energy flowed into his body. He felt as if this pair of wings had existed in his body since he was a child. He could move freely without any hindrance. He flapped his wings as naturally as he breathed. It had to be said that although using the rock steps could also condense earth energy and form a pair of wings, it couldn't compare to this kind of instinctive flying power. The two were not on the same level at all. It was like swimming. No matter how good a human was at swimming, how could he compare to the flying fish that lived in the sea? It was a speed that couldn't be caught up with. Whoosh! 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 Xiaoping flapped his wings and instantly disappeared. He moved back and forth. Immediately, dozens of Xiaoping appeared in the air. They were so fast that they left behind afterimages. What was more frightening was that when he moved, the air around him didn't make any sound. It was as if he had merged with the air currents in the world and made them his. Chapter 7:12. 4. O. I. A. I dollar. 4. K. Caridas. Just as Xiaoping was circulating the pure yang immortal art, constantly consolidating his cultivation and controlling his skyrocketing power, he suddenly felt a trace of palpitation in his heart. Our rumble, our dark clouds gathered in the sky, and the vague power of lightning was brewing. It was as if an existence in the dark was staring at him, enveloping a radius of dozens of miles. A terrifying aura permeated the surroundings, stimulating every cell in his body. His sixth sense told him of a terrible threat. What's going on? Is this a lightning tribulation? Xiaoping was shocked. He recalled that when he first integrated the Golden Crow of Hell bloodline, he had encountered a shocking lightning tribulation. One lightning bolt could instantly flatten a small mountain. If it weren't for Yanhuang University's defense system, he would have been struck into a piece of charcoal. Now that he had awakened 100 Golden Crow of Hell cells, it seemed to have triggered a taboo in the heavens. A lightning tribulation was coming to kill a monster that shouldn't exist in this world. Xiaoping felt the power of lightning brewing in the sky. Although it wasn't as terrifying as the first time, he estimated that there were 9 lightning tribulations, each stronger than the last. Under the bombardment, even an ordinary grandmaster would be killed, leaving not even a corpse behind. But at this time misfortune never came alone. The system said, "Host, please note that the soul-devouring beast avatar has been successfully condensed and is coming out of the graveyard of heavenly demons. It even has the power to control demons. When the time comes, it may send an army to kill the host." It reminded Xiaoping. What? Xiaoping's eyes narrowed. When it rains, it pours. Being killed by the lightning tribulation was already something that needed to be dealt with full strength. Now he was being chased by a terrifying demonic beast. This was simply being attacked from both front and back. Or if he happened to be killed by the soul-devouring beast while undergoing the tribulation, he would be in trouble. Or the worst-case scenario would be if he encountered the soul-devouring beast when he had just undergone the tribulation and was exhausted. At that time, he would be like fish on a chopping board, slaughtered at will by the other party. No, that's not right. Xia Ping immediately laughed. That soul-devouring beast is chasing after us at just the right time. Perhaps I can use that stupid beast to resist the lightning tribulation and have it lend me a hand. Now he felt that the timing was perfect. With the help of the soul-devouring beast, he reckoned that the power of the lightning tribulation would be lessened by a lot, and he would be able to easily get through this fatal crisis. That soul-devouring beast probably didn't want to help him either, but it wasn't up to it to decide. Whoosh! With this thought in mind, Xia Ping controlled the golden crow's wings and flew in the air like a golden crow. In a few breaths' time he had left the valley. Immediately, he felt a dark mass of evil qi coming from afar. Dark clouds covered the sky, covering the sun, as if there were countless evil demons flying in the sky. Although the fiends inside the Sky Devil graveyard couldn't come out, there were many fiends outside. The soul-devouring beast, on the other hand, only needed to use a little of its own power to control an army of evil devils. There were 100,000 of them. It was like the king of evil devils, surrounded by the stars and the moon. Leading the army, it charged towards Xia Ping. Although it had absolute confidence in its own strength, there was no need to take the risk of personally killing the enemy if it could use its army to overwhelm the enemy. This was the precious experience it had gained over tens of thousands of years. Fighting alone and outnumbered was the behavior of a brute. A smart person should gang up and defeat the enemy with absolute advantage. That's the soul-devouring beast. Xia Ping flew in the air, facing the soul-devouring beast army. He immediately saw a huge flying beast in the center of the countless evil demons. It was 4 to 5 meters tall. Its body was pitch black, and it looked like a lion. It had fangs and claws, and a pair of black wings grew from its back. Its scales were distinct, and its eyes were like black holes, as if they could devour the souls of living beings. Although it was in the center of countless evil demons, it still emitted a heart-palpitating aura. This was the absolute ruler of evil demons, an existence that stood at the peak of countless living beings. It was known as the calamity of the universe. Even though it was only an avatar, it had the power to destroy everything. Human, you dare appear before me? The soul-devouring beast was a little surprised. It originally thought it would have to chase Xia Ping for a long time. Xia Ping was hiding everywhere, living in fear. It also wanted to use this opportunity to enjoy the joy of toying with its prey and vent its 10,000 years of resentment. But it never expected that just as it left the heavenly demon graveyard, this kid would appear before it openly. I don't dare to appear before you? Who do you think you are? You're just a prodigal dog. Xia Ping looked at the soul-devouring beast indifferently. Killing you is like killing a dog. He clenched his fists and stood in midair, his body emitting the aura of a grandmaster. Arrogant. Hearing this, the soul-devouring beast was instantly enraged. I, the soul-devouring beast, have been completely looked down upon by others. Do you think that I've lost all my abilities after being sealed for tens of thousands of years? Back when I was dominating the universe, your ancestor was still a demon. How dare a little brat like you yell at me? Believe it or not, I don't even need to do anything. Just these subordinates of mine can crush you to death. It was unable to restrain its anger. As the famous soul-devouring beast, it had destroyed countless lives. Back then, countless demon kings of the demon race had been killed by it and became food in its stomach. Rand in its eyes, this human was just a tiny dot, not even a snack. But he actually dared to say that killing it, the soul-devouring beast, was like killing a dog. Did this bastard think that after being sealed, he would have no skills left? Did he think a fallen phoenix was inferior to a chicken? That a fallen tiger would be bullied by a dog? Crush me to death? I can wipe out a bunch of trash with a wave of my hand. Xia Ping looked at the army of 100,000 demons disdainfully. It was as though they were not experts but just small fries. You can wipe them out with a wave of your hand? I want to see how you'll wipe them out. Go. Kill this human and skin him. The soul-devouring beast flew into a rage. It could not tolerate this human for even a second. Rit had never seen a creature more arrogant than it was. This brat was the first. He dared to be so domineering and arrogant in front of its famous soul-devouring beast. Did he really think that the soul-devouring beast had no temper? Yes, master. Go kill this human. A dog-like thing dares to bark at its master. Go teach him what manners is. The army of 100,000 demons let out an earth-shattering roar. Their aura was like a dragon as they charged forward. This kind of power was enough to destroy a huge city and cause a natural disaster. They're here. Chapter 7:13. What's going on? The soul-devouring beast was taken aback. It immediately sensed a huge change in the world. It looked up and found that the sky had been covered by dark clouds. Endless dark clouds rolled, as if a giant dragon was turning over. In the depths of the void, a huge black hole appeared. Countless lightning bolts were rolling in the black hole, as if a thunder god lived in the depths of the black hole, rumbling. From this black hole, an aura that made countless living beings' hearts palpitate was emitted. The 100,000-strong demon army obviously felt this shocking aura as well. Every one of them was frightened, as if they had encountered a calamity. This was the power of heaven unmatched. Fuck! The soul-devouring beast immediately recognized what it was and cursed. This is heavenly punishment. What's going on? Why does heavenly punishment exist in this place? Which idiot triggered heavenly punishment? Does he want to die? It doesn't matter if you die, but don't harm others and yourself. It was extremely terrified. No one knew better than it how terrifying heavenly punishment was. Once it encountered heavenly punishment, even if it was a divine beast, it would still have a slim chance of survival. Some of the soul-devouring beast clansmen had encountered heavenly punishment and were struck to death by the lightning of the ninth heaven. Not even their bones were left. The problem was it had committed many evil deeds, killed people like flies, and devoured planets one after another. Yet, it had never encountered heavenly punishment. Because to the universe the death of life was a very common thing. Every day, countless lives were lost in the universe. The number of lives that the soul-devouring beast had killed was just a drop in the bucket. Only if it had done something that violated the taboo of the universe would it encounter heavenly punishment. To put it in an exaggerated way, even the soul-devouring beast was not qualified to encounter heavenly punishment. But what was going on now? Why was this happening now? The soul-devouring beast was currently in a stupefied state. Even though it had been sealed by someone for tens of thousands of years, it had never been afraid. But now it was afraid because this heavenly punishment could really take its life. No, that's not right. This heavenly punishment isn't born for no reason. Someone must have triggered it. The soul-devouring beast suddenly stared at Xia Ping. It sensed that the lightning tribulation aura seemed to be targeting this human. Rit immediately shouted, so that's how it is. You're the one who brought God's punishment. Damn it, what have you done to make God punish you? The soul-devouring beast was extremely shocked because it had annihilated countless demons in the cloud realm and killed hundreds of billions of lives. Yet it was not targeted by the heavenly punishment. However, this human was actually targeted by the heavenly punishment. What kind of taboo thing was this? Rit couldn't even imagine such a thing and couldn't figure it out. It's none of your business. It's not that this isn't heavenly punishment, it's just that I've summoned divine lightning to get rid of evildoers like you, to get rid of evil for the sake of the people, and to return peace to the world. Xia Ping's face was full of righteousness. As soon as he finished speaking, his silhouette flickered as he controlled the golden crow's wings and charged towards the demonic army like a bird. In the eyes of the spectators, he was clearly courting death. This was a suicidal attack. Scram. Scram immediately. Don't harm others and yourself here. The soul-devouring beast's face turned green. It could see that this human had somehow offended the heavenly punishment and attracted the heavenly punishment lightning. He was dead for sure. But before he died, this bastard wanted to find someone to be his scapegoat. It was obvious that he had his eyes on them. No one knew better than the soul-devouring beast how terrifying the heavenly punishment lightning was. If anyone dared to disturb it nearby, they would immediately anger the heavens and greatly increase the power of the heavenly punishment lightning. At that time it would definitely bring disaster to the fish pond. Even they would be targeted by the heavenly punishment and killed instantly. But why would Xia Ping care about the soul-devouring beast's words? He attracted the heavenly punishment lightning to kill this group of demons and the soul-devouring beast at the same time. Therefore, when he heard the soul-devouring beast's words, he sped up and rushed towards the demon army in a frenzy. Rumble, at this moment sound waves rippled in the sky, as if the god of thunder was enraged. Rings of sound waves condensed into substance and spread out in all directions, causing pain in the eardrums of all living beings. The sound of thunder even had the power to destroy all evil. When the demons heard this sound, they immediately felt as if their heads were being smashed by a hammer. They were dizzy and cried out in pain. Bam bam bam. In an instant, the first wave of the heavenly punishment lightning fell from the sky. There were thousands of purple lightning bolts that seemed to light up the dark sky. These lightning bolts were originally targeted at Xia Ping. But with the golden crow's wings, Xia Ping's speed was extremely fast and his footwork was exquisite. He hid among the demon army. Therefore, the demon army became Xia Ping's meat cushion. Immediately, the group of demons were caught off guard and were struck by the purple lightning bolts in the sky. The power of the lightning covered an entire area and all the demons were affected. The power of lightning itself was the power of extreme yang, and was the nemesis of many Yin-type creatures. The heavenly punishment lightning was the lightning of all lightning, and contained extreme destructive power. Therefore, when the purple lightning landed on the demons, it caused great damage. They were smashed into pieces and disappeared from the world. They didn't even have the chance to scream. With just one strike, thousands of demons disappeared from the world. It was terrifying. As expected of the heavenly punishment lightning, it's really terrifying. Xia Ping blinked and clicked his tongue in admiration. The purple lightning was no weaker than the laser cannon of the spaceship. Even a grandmaster would be seriously injured or even killed if they received it. Bitch. The soul-devouring beast was furious. It had spent a lot of effort to control so many demons, but now they died in such a useless way. Thousands of demons disappeared in an instant. Hurry up and get lost. If you continue to stay here, I will definitely kill you. The soul-devouring beast roared and threatened Xia Ping. Stupid. Xia Ping looked at the soul-devouring beast with disdain. He would be courting death if he left. With so many cannon fodder to help him resist the lightning, how could he bear to leave? Not only did he not leave, but he also went into the army of demons, making the lightning even more violent. Bang bang bang. The second wave of heavenly tribulation lightning also instantly descended. This time its power was twice as tyrannical as before, and the number of lightning bolts had also increased. Thousands of lightning bolts descended, like a barrage of missiles. They roared and bombarded the demons around Xia Ping. The group of demons let out shrill screams. This was simply an undeserved disaster. They originally wanted to torture and kill humans easily, but who would have thought that they would encounter such a disaster? They were hit by the purple lightning one by one. They had no power to resist at all. The terrifying lightning power destroyed their bodies and turned them into ashes in a few breaths. Chapter 7:14. Run. We can't get close to this human. This human is simply a jinx, a scourge. He's trying to drag us down with him. Don't die with him. Many of the fiends cried out in horror. They also knew who the culprit was. Wherever Xia Ping went, there would be a storm of blood and countless deaths. The area enveloped by the lightning had been completely cleared. The group of fiends had been reduced to ashes. They didn't even leave behind any last words. They died in an extremely aggrieved manner. They were immediately frightened out of their wits and fled in all directions. But it was useless. Xia Ping flapped his wings and immediately chased after them. He used these fiends as a protective umbrella, and used them to block the lightning tribulation for him. Bang bang bang. Bolts of lightning descended, and the evil spirits fled in all directions like frightened birds and stray dogs. Any evil spirit that Xia Ping got close to would be killed by the lightning without exception. At this moment, many humans and demons walked out of the Sky Demon Graveyard's entrance. Among them were the Raven of Misfortune, the Three-Eyed Giant, Tu Linglong, and other demons. Apart from them there were also Lu Chao, Feng Chodao, and other elite humans. The moment they came out, they were immediately given a fright. The sky was densely packed with fiends blotting out the sun. They were so frightened that they thought they had been ambushed by fiends. But upon closer inspection, they discovered that something was amiss. The group of fiends did not seem to be targeting them but a human. And this human was none other than Xia Ping. It had to be said that they would recognize this fellow even if he was reduced to ashes. Really didn't die. The Raven of Misfortune and the other demons exchanged looks and understood each other's intentions. The earth-shattering explosion had indeed failed to kill this human. He was still alive and kicking. Haha, the heavens have eyes. This kid is actually being pursued by fiends. To think that he would have such a day. This is retribution. A demon laughed out loud, revealing a gloating look. Retribution, my ass. Are you blind? How is he being hunted by a demon? He's clearly the one hunting down the demon. An elite student looked at the demon in disdain. What? Everyone looked over and was shocked to find that Xia Pingsheng was extremely ferocious. Facing the army of 100,000 demons, he was still fearless and actually rushed forward like a tiger chasing a flock of sheep. There were clearly 100,000 nefarious devils, but at this moment they were all scared out of their wits. They were scared out of their wits and fled into the distance. Xia Ping chased after them like a god of war. At the same time, lightning bolts fell from the sky from time to time. All the evil spirits around Xia Ping were shocked to death and turned into ashes, disappearing from this world. What's going on? Is this human defying the heavens? He actually controlled the power of lightning to chase after an army of 100,000 evil demons. Just how did he do it? He must have taken drugs. The question is, what drugs did this human take to make him so strong? He's so strong that he's a complete mess. He's practically like a god of lightning. Those vicious evil spirits are being chased by him like stray dogs, living in a constant state of panic. He's too awesome. The group of demons was so scared that their eyeballs almost popped out of their sockets. If this human was so ferocious, wouldn't he be able to kill them all by himself? He wouldn't even be able to catch his breath. They were now completely convinced by this human. If they knew this brat had such strength, they wouldn't have dared to provoke him. Instead they ran away. They wouldn't dare to provoke him even if they were beaten to death. Feng Chodao and the rest were speechless. They had nothing to say. Xia Ping's actions were beyond their imagination. They didn't even know how to express their feelings. A single person chasing after an army of 100,000 nefarious devils. No one would believe such a thing. But now it was happening right in front of their eyes. Even if they wanted to fake it, it was impossible. At this moment, Xia Ping was like a ferocious tiger, charging into the army of evil spirits. He was like a jinx, killing a large number of evil spirits the moment he entered. Who asked him to suffer the wrath of heaven? The lightning bolts in the sky struck down on his surroundings. Any evil spirit that got close to him was struck by the lightning bolts and turned into ashes. Shameless human. I won't let you off even if I become a ghost. An evil spirit let out a sorrowful howl before it died. There were also some evil spirits that begged for mercy. Their faces were pale with fright. Please spare us, don't drag us down with you. Even more evil spirits were scared out of their wits. They fled one after another. The army of 100,000 fled in disorder. In just a few short minutes, over 10,000 evil spirits were turned into ashes, struck to death by the heavenly punishment lightning. Kill him, kill this human immediately. As long as we kill him, we can stop the heavenly tribulation lightning. Seeing its subordinates dying worthlessly, the soul-devouring beast's eyes widened. It roared madly. If this continued, its army of 100,000 evil spirits would collapse and be completely annihilated. Couldn't bear it at all. Rit was experienced and knowledgeable, so it naturally knew that the heavenly tribulation lightning was targeting Xiaoping. If Xiaoping were to die, then the heavenly tribulation lightning would have no target and would naturally dissipate. This was the soul-devouring beast's solution, once and for all. So that's how it is. Killing this human can stop the heavenly tribulation lightning. Good idea. Everyone, let's attack together and kill this human. Quick, if we want to live, we have to kill this human as soon as possible. The surrounding evil spirits all shouted. Their hearts were filled with hatred, and none of them were afraid of death. They attacked Xiaoping, wanting to kill this super calamity in an instant. Are you still want to kill me? What a joke. Perhaps you still don't know who the real king of the sky is. Xiaoping looked at these evil spirits disdainfully. The golden crow wings on his back gave him the innate ability to control air currents. It could be said that he was now the son of the sky. Even a demonic bird would be far slower than him at the same level. Are these evil spirits wanted to deal with him? What a joke. Moreover, he didn't even need to do anything. As long as he dodged these evil spirits' attacks, the heavenly punishment lightning would naturally help him kill them one by one. In fact, this method of killing evil spirits was extremely efficient. A single lightning strike would definitely kill these evil spirits. This was much better than doing it himself. Now he completely treated the heavenly punishment lightning as his own weapon, using it to kill the evil spirits. He was invincible. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Xiaoping's figure flickered and turned into countless shadows in the air. He flapped his wings and constantly moved among these evil spirits. No matter how these evil spirits attacked, they could not hurt his body and fell into the air. Even if some attacks were lucky and hit Xiaoping's body, they were blocked by Dark North's body protection technique and he was unscathed. A few minutes later, a group of evil spirits suffered heavy casualties. Lightning fell, and 30 to 40,000 evil spirits were killed by the heavenly punishment lightning. At this time, more than half of the 100,000 evil spirits were killed or injured. Chapter 7:15. AQ 0 % 5 A plus W XBY O E4. With these devils blocking the majority of the purple lightning, Xiaoping only needed to block a portion of it. The power of the lightning entered his body, crackling. When the lightning struck his body, it was like he was massaging it, tempering his skin, muscles, and bones. It was like a hammer hammering his body, purifying the impurities. Instantly, the energy of the lightning was absorbed and devoured by the solar furnace. The majestic energy flowed into his limbs and bones, transforming into a large amount of astral energy that entered a newly opened acupoint. Xiaoping could feel his strength increasing bit by bit. His astral energy increased crazily, and every cell seemed to have a little bit of lightning energy stored within. It was as though he was about to control the power of lightning. But while he was enjoying the strengthening of the heavenly tribulation lightning, the devils were in an incomparably miserable state. No, this human is simply a monster. If we continue to stay here, only death awaits us. Flee. If we don't flee, we will die. The devils were incomparably terrified. They finally realized that if they were to fight against this human, there was no way for them to survive. They couldn't attack him, but as long as this human got close, a single bolt of lightning would strike them, and they would die without a doubt. The opponent couldn't die no matter how they attacked, and they couldn't hit him. But if they were hit once, they would die. How could they fight such a battle? In fact, this couldn't even be considered a battle. It was just a one-sided slaughter. Finally, even with the mental control of the soul-devouring beast, they were helpless. Their fear of death gave them the upper hand, and they managed to break free from the mental control of the soul-devouring beast. The devils were so frightened that their faces turned pale. They fled in all directions. The army of 100,000 devils had completely collapsed. They were being driven around by Xiaoping like a flock of sheep. They fled quickly, as though they wished their parents had given them more legs. Stay here immediately. Do you all want to die? The soul-devouring beast was flustered and exasperated. It didn't think that these cannon fodder would dare to resist it, abandoning their masters and fleeing. This was treachery, this was betrayal. However, no matter how much the soul-devouring beast roared and threatened, it was unable to make the group of evil spirits stay. Their fear had reached its peak, and they were no longer able to obey any orders. They only had one thought in their mind, and that was to escape. Damned bastards, they really are untrustworthy cannon fodder. I'll have to do it myself. The soul-devouring beast's expression was extremely gloomy. When it saw this group of evil devils that had been scared out of their wits, it knew that they no longer had any value. A frightened wolf was not as ferocious as a flock of sheep. Die! The soul-devouring beast let out an angry roar. It suddenly pounced over like a demonic bird. Its speed was extremely fast, and it wanted to tear Xiaoping's body apart. Boom! However, just as it approached within 100 meters of Xiaoping, a purple lightning bolt fell from the sky and instantly bombarded its body. Crackling sounds could be heard as the power of thunder and lightning spread throughout its body, destroying everything in a frenzy. Even its soul felt a little numb from the electricity, and its entire body was charred black. The soul-devouring beast couldn't help but cry out. It had never felt such intense pain before. It was as if someone was cutting its soul with a pair of scissors. This kind of heavenly tribulation lightning not only attacked the body itself but also the soul. Dozens, even hundreds of such lightning bolts struck down. Even if its body was extremely strong, it still couldn't withstand it. The soul-devouring beast finally understood why so many soul-devouring beasts, in the soul-devouring beast clan, had fallen after encountering heavenly punishment. It turned out that the power of this lightning was so terrifying that it couldn't be resisted by ordinary means. Run! The soul-devouring beast's face turned green. It was finally afraid. Like the other evil devils, it began to flee. If it continued to stay here, it would definitely be buried with this human. Don't even think about escaping. How could Xiaoping let this group of cannon fodder escape so easily? He immediately chased after them, and had them help him resist the heavenly tribulation lightning. After all, it wasn't easy to find such a large and powerful group of cannon fodder. Soul-devouring beast, aren't you very powerful? Aren't you the one who once swept across all demon kings? If you have the guts, then stay and let's fight for 300 rounds. Could it be that you soul-devouring beasts are all cowardly bandits who don't even dare to fight head-on? Xiaoping loudly mocked, trying to enrage the soul-devouring beast. Bitch! The soul-devouring beast went mad with anger. When had it ever heard someone mock and look down on it like this? He actually dared to call them cowardly bandits? When it swallowed the entire planet, a lowly human like you hadn't even been born yet. Rit simply wanted to slap this human to death, but when it saw the dense black clouds in the sky and the power of lightning brewing, it immediately cowered and didn't dare to turn its head. Soul-devouring beast, your courage is even smaller than a rabbit's. You're just a weakling who bullies the weak and fears the strong. What other ability do you have besides bullying the weak? Xiaoping shouted. Didn't you say before that you wanted to kill me? Why are you running now? Did you grow wings just for the sake of escaping? Of course, if you want to live, call me daddy and I'll consider sparing your little life. He stated his own request. Bastard! The soul-devouring beast was so angry that its heart and liver were about to split open. This lowly human wanted it to call him daddy? Who did he think he was? Giving him an inch, he wanted a foot. Rit was extremely sullen. Right now, it didn't even know who was the real calamity of the universe. If this human appeared in the universe, he might become the new calamity and kill who knew how many people. But even if the soul-devouring beast wanted to escape, it couldn't shake off Xiaoping at all. The golden crow wings on his body were too powerful. With a light flap, he was like a supersonic plane, extremely fast. Archie was practically a ghost hanging on the soul-devouring beast's heels. Bang bang bang. Bolts of lightning struck down one after another. 3 lightning tribulations, 4 lightning tribulations, 5 lightning tribulations, 7 lightning tribulations, and finally 9 lightning tribulations. The power of heaven's punishment was madly vented. Along the way, the ground was scorched. Small mountains collapsed one after another, and huge craters appeared on the ground, just like the surface of the moon. Roop in the sky, the demons fell down like dumplings, all killed by the shockwave. The mighty demon army was almost completely killed. 90% of them were dead. The soul-devouring beast, which was the focus of attention, was also struck by the lightning tribulation. Its scales fell, it was drenched in blood, its lungs were severely injured, and even its soul was torn apart. It could be said that its current state was even worse than when it was sealed 30,000 years ago. Because the lightning tribulation could affect the main body through the soul of the clone, it hurt its core. That was why the soul-devouring beast was so flustered and exasperated that it frantically fled. Chapter 716 and the Distance. Many demon prodigies and human elites were dumbfounded. They were completely numb and didn't know what to say. That was an army of 100,000 with countless demons, many of which were at the master level. If such a large army were to press down on them, it would be enough to annihilate them and cause countless casualties. In the outside world, that was an army that could destroy an entire city. But now they were being hunted down by Xiaoping alone and completely destroyed. 90% of the demons were killed by the lightning. They couldn't fight back at all. Such a result was extremely terrifying. Of course, this was mainly because of the power of the heavenly punishment lightning. If Xiaoping was alone, he wouldn't be able to kill them all. The problem was, these demon prodigies didn't know the truth. They didn't know that the heavenly punishment lightning was coming for Xiaoping. So they were extremely shocked and couldn't bring themselves to fight against this human. Ardong. Another bolt of lightning fell from the sky and struck the soul-eating beast. It was instantly charred and its skin cracked. Large amounts of blood flowed out, dyeing the area red. The intense pain spread throughout its body, making it tremble. Every nerve felt like it was being bitten by ants. Damn it, I'll kill you. If worst comes to worst, I'll give up this clone and die with you. The soul-eating beast roared. Being chased by Xiaoping like a stray dog made it feel extremely aggrieved. It couldn't take it anymore. It decided to give up this clone and kill this damned human even if its main body was heavily injured. Just then the black hole in the sky seemed to be slowly shrinking. The power of the heavenly punishment lightning had also mostly disappeared. It no longer had the power to send lightning down. The dark clouds dissipated. The sky was clear after the rain. It's over already. Xiaoping looked up and immediately realized that he had passed the 9 tribulations. The mysterious power that had been staring at him had disappeared without a trace. The majestic pressure also disappeared. It was obvious that he had passed the heavenly punishment. Because of these demons and the soul-eating beast's help, they had endured 99% of the power. He had only endured a small part of the heavenly punishment lightning. In fact, because of the solar furnace, he was able to successfully refine the energy of thunder and lightning as his own. Every single cell in his body seemed to contain the existence of thunder and lightning energy. Xiaoping gently clenched his fists. Lightning seemed to burst out from his fists, crackling and crackling. It's over. It's finally over. The soul-devouring beast also sensed that the danger had left at the first instant. It was immediately wild with joy, as if it had just survived a calamity. After all, if it abandoned this doppelganger, its main body would definitely be heavily injured, and it would be a long time before it could break free from the seal. It might even be suppressed forever until its death. Since there's no heavenly punishment thunder, then you damned human don't have any tricks to rely on. Let's see how you'll die this time. The soul-devouring beast stared at Xiaoping with extreme savagery. Rit's body exuded a terrifying killing intent that was almost tangible. Just now it was in such a miserable state. It was used as a meat cushion by this brat and was pulled over to block the heavenly lightning. One after another, the heavenly lightning struck down, causing it to lose half of its life. Even its soul energy was damaged. This was a great humiliation. If it didn't completely kill this human, flay his skin and pull out his tendons, then the reputation of the soul-devouring beast race would be ruined by it. How do I die? Without those demon armies, with this so-called doppelganger, you're nothing but a fart soul-devouring beast. With a boom, Xiaoping immediately took out the precious artifact, the Hell Spear. Rumble, suddenly with his body as the center, a terrifying hellish aura erupted, forming a frightening aura that swept in all directions, causing the entire earth to shake. Vaguely, the air distorted, creating an illusion. It was as if a painting of the nine hells had appeared behind Xiaoping, suppressing countless demons and gods, rendering them unable to move. What? The soul-devouring beast was shocked. It had never imagined that Xiaoping would have such methods and strength. It was clear that this human was even stronger than when he was in the heavenly demon graveyard. He had already stepped into the Grandmaster realm, and his mastery of stellar energy was approaching the transformative realm. In addition, that mysterious precious artifact seemed to have the power to suppress demons and gods. Although it was known as the calamity of the universe and its race was incomparably tyrannical, how could it compare to a true demon god of hell? Such a hell spear could even suppress a demon god, so what was the soul-devouring beast to it? Not to mention that the soul-devouring beast was not at its peak, but only a doppelganger. Swish. The spear stabbed forward, its speed inconceivable. It was as if the hell spear had disappeared from the soul-devouring beast's eyes. In fact, it wasn't actually disappearing. It was just that the speed of the spear was too fast for the retina to capture, so it seemed to have disappeared. The soul-devouring beast felt that this spear was extremely terrifying. A strong killing intent spread out, and its thoughts seemed to be broken by this mysterious power, stopping its operations. It was as if it was a lamb waiting to be slaughtered, and could only stand where it was and let the opponent do as he pleased. This spear was extremely frightening. It was invincible and seemed to be able to pierce through even the soul. The exquisiteness of the move surpassed that of a king-level martial art. Ardong. In the blink of an eye, the spear pierced through the soul-devouring beast's body like tofu. Its hard scales couldn't stop the hell spear at all. With a large amount of blood gushed out of its body like a fountain, spraying everywhere. Damned human, I want you to die. The soul-devouring beast's eyes widened, and it let out a violent roar. The air around it distorted, and a strong mental wave shook the surrounding several kilometers. The evil spirits were caught off guard, and their souls were immediately shattered by this mental wave. They were only left with their bodies, and just like that they fell to the ground. It's actually not dead? Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. He realized that his spear had pierced through the soul-devouring beast's heart, but it was still not dead. It was still very lively, and it could even roar. Although the heart was an extremely important location for most living beings, and once it was shattered, death was certain. But obviously, this soul-devouring beast's vital point wasn't like that. Even without its heart, it could still survive. Die. The soul-devouring beast roared. It opened its mouth and inhaled. An extremely terrifying and strange power surged out of its body, and its mouth seemed to form a terrifying black hole, producing a huge suction force. What? Xiaoping was shocked, because he felt that when the soul-devouring beast used this move, his body seemed to have produced an extremely terrifying suction force, specifically targeting the soul. For a moment, he felt as if his soul was about to leave his body and be completely devoured by the soul-devouring beast, becoming its food. Chapter 717. As long as the soul-devouring beast opened its mouth, it would produce a terrifying suction force. The souls of countless living beings would automatically leave their bodies and quickly enter its stomach to be absorbed and refined. At its peak, the soul-devouring beast had such an ability. When it opened its mouth and swallowed, the souls of all living beings on the entire planet would be swallowed by the soul-devouring beast. When the soul-devouring beast descended upon the cloud world, it swallowed the souls of an entire city. Even the demon king could not stop it and had nowhere to run. Perhaps some living beings with strong willpower and soul power could slightly resist the soul-devouring beast's soul power, but if the difference in strength between the two sides was too great, it would be of no use. Therefore, besieging the soul-devouring beast was of no use. No matter how many cannon fodder attacked, they would only become food in its stomach and provide it with energy. Rumble. When the soul-devouring beast used its divine ability, with its body as the center, it immediately produced a dark domain with a diameter of 4 to 5 kilometers. Countless black fog rolled. Within the range of this domain, all living beings covered instantly felt their souls leaving their bodies. The evil spirit souls were extracted one by one. Their eyeballs immediately turned gray and lost their spirit. The illusory soul energy flew towards the soul-devouring beast's mouth. Even if they screamed and struggled, it was of no use. The remaining bodies fell from the sky and smashed into the ground, creating deep pits. You want to strip my soul? Xiaoping immediately felt that this kind of ability was too strange. It surpassed any martial skill and was completely targeted at the soul. Ordinary methods were completely useless against it. Arch immediately circulated the pure yang immortal art to protect his soul platform and reach the realm of man and soul as one. Immediately, the feeling of his soul leaving his body weakened a lot. Ridiculous. A mere mortal wants to resist the soul-devouring beast's soul power. What a joke. Die. The soul-devouring beast roared angrily. It felt Xiaoping's struggle. He actually wanted to resist its soul power. If this brat succeeded, then the soul-devouring beast clan would be completely finished. If even their special skill was broken by someone, then the soul-devouring beast clan would be completely finished. Thinking of this, it became even more frenzied. It produced an even more terrifying suction force, trying to strip Xiaoping's soul from his body. The soul energy in the dark attacked the essence of Xiaoping's soul. Boom. This force fiercely bombarded Xiaoping's soul. It was as if countless demons had appeared and were frantically tearing at his sea of consciousness, wanting to tear his soul into pieces. Xiaoping's body trembled. The infernal golden crow bloodline in his body immediately sensed an intense threat. It was incomparably furious. Someone actually dared to offend the dignity of the ruler of hell. This was unforgivable. A terrifying bloodline power surged out from the depths of his body and quickly rushed into the depths of his soul. Immediately, his soul underwent a huge change, transforming into a black flame. The black flame swayed gently, like a golden crow from hell. It stood tall in the void, shining for all eternity. The entire 9 hells was enveloped in its radiance. It was impossible to describe how dark this flame was. Even the abyss of hell couldn't compare to its darkness. Even the heaviest sin couldn't compare. It was the combination of all depravity, darkness, evil, madness, and slaughter. It was all nothingness. It devoured everything, destroyed everything, and ruled over everything. Any living being, including gods and devils, would die upon touching this hellfire. This was an untouchable nobility. This was a supreme ruler that transcended everything. Damn it, what is this thing? What the hell is it? Originally, the soul-devouring beast wanted to swallow Xiaoping's soul whole and make it its own. But when it saw this terrifying soul fire, it immediately felt as if it was being burned by fire. It felt an irresistible tremble from the bottom of its heart. This was a difference in the hierarchy of life. Although it could devour many souls and was almost always successful, it knew that it couldn't devour this soul the moment it saw this soul fire. Once it devoured it, it would definitely be burned to death by this strange and powerful flame. At that time, let alone devouring the flame to increase its strength, it wouldn't even be able to keep its life. The soul-devouring beast wanted to escape. But it was already too late. The black flame turned into a golden crow of hell and let out a cry. It didn't resist the soul-devouring beast's soul power at all. Instead, it flew towards it. No. Scram. I don't want to devour you. The soul-devouring beast was so scared that it peed itself. It was the first time in its life that it didn't want to devour a soul. Boom. The golden crow of hell pounced over. The terrifying black flame instantly surrounded the soul-devouring beast's soul and burned it crazily. It immediately swallowed the soul-devouring beast into its stomach. The soul-devouring beast let out an earth-shattering scream. It felt an unprecedented pain as it was burned by the black flame. It was a pain that touched its soul. This was a flame that could destroy souls. The black flames even had the aura of hell, containing extremely terrifying emotions such as anger, greed, seduction, jealousy, pride, sloth, gluttony, and many other negative energies surged into its body, changing the very nature of its soul. It was as if this evil energy had caused its soul to completely fall. This power gave it no chance to resist. It only felt its vision go black and its consciousness vanish. Its entire soul power was reduced to nothingness. Rin the distance in a dark space in the heavenly demon graveyard. The soul-devouring beast's main body also screamed crazily. It felt a fatal crisis and instantly severed its mental connection with its avatar. But it was too late. Even though it moved quickly, a wisp of black flame still attacked along its mental connection. It fiercely bombarded its soul and burned it. Rit felt that if the black flame continued to spread, it would soon be completely devoured and turned into fuel for the black flame. It would then be reduced to nothingness. No. I'm the soul-devouring beast, a calamity of the universe. How can I die like this? Absolutely not. The soul-devouring beast roared. It circulated the terrifying energy in its body to expel the wisps of black flame. After an unknown amount of time, it finally extinguished the black flame. But it paid a heavy price. Its body was heavily injured, blood flowed, and its entire body split open. It was an extremely miserable sight. Damn it, what kind of flame is this? Why can't even I, the mighty soul-devouring beast, resist it? Just a wisp of its power is enough to devour me. What kind of divine beast bloodline is this? The soul-devouring beast still had lingering fear. It could feel the nobility of that bloodline. It contained the aura of a ruler. Any living being that dared to blaspheme it would immediately die and face calamity. That wasn't something it could covet. Touching it meant death. Chapter 7:18. The soul-devouring beast let out a shrill scream. No matter how it struggled, it couldn't break free from the black flames. In a few breaths, the soul of its clone was burned. In the void, the golden crow of hell swallowed the soul in one gulp and took it for itself. Xiaoping immediately felt a warm current pouring into his body. A large amount of soul energy was devoured by him. His soul seemed to be greedily absorbing it. At the same time, the golden crystal deep in his soul, which was obtained from the devouring heaven demon Venerable, quickly melted due to the stimulation of this power and permeated every part of his soul. This greatly increased his soul power and continued to grow. Congratulations to the host for devouring the soul of the soul-devouring beast, and obtaining a part of the soul-devouring beast's ability. At this moment the system prompted, but this ability from the soul-devouring beast is still unstable and will dissipate at any time. Does the host want to fuse this ability with his body? The ability of the soul-devouring beast? Hearing this, Xiaoping's heart moved. What ability? Devour soul power. The system said, whenever the host kills a creature, he can obtain a part of the soul power of the other party's body to strengthen his soul and spiritual power. What? Xiaoping was shocked and his body shook. He couldn't believe that killing a creature would allow him to obtain a part of the soul power of the other party's body. This ability was too heaven-defying. After all, generally speaking, there were only two ways to increase one's soul power. The first was to increase one's cultivation base. By increasing one's cultivation base to a higher martial realm, one's life would evolve. Naturally, one's soul power would increase. The other was to devour precious spirit items. The problem was that this kind of spirit item that could increase soul power was priceless. Even kings would covet it. There weren't many of them at all. It was extremely difficult to obtain them. But now Xiaoping had a third method. If he killed the enemy, he could absorb a trace of soul power emitted when the enemy died to strengthen himself. Although the ability of the soul-devouring beast was more terrifying, it could directly extract the soul of the other party and devour it directly, and Xiaoping only obtained a part of the ability to devour souls. But this was also very shocking. If it was set out, it would scare many people to death. Fuse immediately. Xiaoping immediately said. If he didn't fuse this ability, he would be a fool. If he had this ability, it would be much easier for him to strengthen his soul power. He didn't know how many times higher it was than others. From the starting point, everyone was different. However, the host fusing this ability requires 50 million hatred points. The system prompted. The corner of Xiaoping's mouth twitched. He still had a total of 55 million hatred points. Now that he had fused this ability, he would lose 50 million. This was simply an astronomical number. But it was worth it. If there was no golden crow of hell's ability to devour the soul-devouring beast, it would have cost a huge price to obtain such power. It was estimated that 50 million hatred points were not enough. Therefore, he didn't know how much of an advantage he had now. If the Realm King knew about this, he would be so jealous that his eyes would turn green. Got it? Xiaoping expressed that he understood. Anyway, things like hate value: if the old don't go, the new won't come. It was useless to keep it here. If there was a chance, he would spend it and constantly enhance his strength. Rumble. As soon as he finished speaking, the depths of his mind trembled, and a mysterious power surged like an endless warm current, flowing into his limbs and bones, seeping into every cell. Slowly, the energy that came from the soul-devouring beast seemed to condense into a black seed in the depths of Xiaoping's mind. It slowly spun in the middle of Xiaoping's mind, constantly inhaling and exhaling air in an incomparably profound manner. What is this? Xiaoping's heart moved. He felt that this mysterious seed was black all over, and seemed to be engraved with dense ancient inscriptions. His spiritual force penetrated it, and he immediately felt as if he had entered a space of nothingness. It was extremely dark, exuding desires, greed, hunger, and other emotions. It was as if this black seed was a divine beast Tao Tai, eager to devour any soul matter. As long as Xiaoping's mind moved, this black seed would form a black vortex with his body as the center, producing a terrifying suction force, absorbing soul power from all directions. My spiritual force has increased. Xiaoping closed his eyes, and he found that his spiritual force had doubled compared to before, and the area within a radius of 20 kilometers was covered by his spiritual force. In this area, not even the slightest movement could be hidden from him. Although he had devoured the soul-devouring beast's split soul, it was only a split soul, and there was not much soul power. Compared with the main body, it was like comparing an ocean to a drop of water. To be able to double his spiritual force was already a pleasant surprise. If not for the melting of the golden crystal, he probably wouldn't have been able to increase his spiritual force by this much. In fact, the most important thing to devour the soul-devouring beast's split soul was to obtain the ability to devour souls. This ability was more precious than anything else, and it couldn't be exchanged for even 1,000 gold. Has the golden crystal completely disappeared? Xiaoping knew that this small piece of golden crystal's energy was completely gone, and he had devoured and digested it, melting it all into his own soul power. He didn't feel that it was a pity. It was already not bad to be able to increase his soul power by this much. At this moment, the demon race prodigies and human elites in the distance were all stunned. They saw the thunder tribulation end, the sky clear for miles, the army of 100,000 fleeing, and even the leader of the evil devil army being completely killed. Xiaoping stood alone in the void, the two flaming wings on his back gently flapping like a god. Such an aura was like a huge mountain in the hearts of the living beings present. They were all stunned. This is too terrifying. Just how strong does this human want to be? An army of 100,000 evil devils. That's not some cabbage. He can kill anyone now. He is trying to defy the heavens. The group of demons was dumbfounded. They had already raised their opinion of Xiaoping, but they didn't expect to still underestimate him. It can't be his own strength. He might have found a certain restrictive power in the heaven demon battlefield and used it at the last moment. That's why he destroyed the army of 100,000 evil devils, a demon said calmly. A demon calmly said. It did not believe that Xiaoping had such invincible power. If he was really so terrifying, he would have been able to kill all the demons on his own. Even if it's not his own strength, he can control the restrictive power here. This means that this kid is invincible in the heaven demon battlefield and can't be provoked. Otherwise, the army of 100,000 evil devils will end up like this. That's right. Look at this kid's aura. He has already advanced to the Grandmaster realm. Damn it. He was just an 8th firmament martial master previously. It has only been 2 months, and he has actually advanced to the Grandmaster realm. His cultivation speed is too fast. Chapter 719. Phew. Xiaoping took a deep breath and circulated the pure yang immortal art. After an unknown period of time, he finally refined the surging soul power completely and took it for his own. Immediately, he felt refreshed and unprecedentedly good. Oh, Tu Linglong and the rest seemed to be over there. Xiaoping turned around and immediately sensed that a large number of demons and humans had gathered not far away, and seemed to be watching from the side. Swoosh! In a flash, he controlled the golden crow's wings and flew towards the place where the crowd was gathered. However, it would have been fine if Xiaoping did not move. Once he did, he immediately scared the demons into a frenzy. Oh my god, that human is coming. What? He actually came. It's over. It's all over. Run, hurry up and run. If you don't run, you'll die. Many demons were scared half to death and some of their faces turned green. They didn't have a good relationship with Xiaoping. Besides, they were from different races and had a life-and-death feud with each other. Now that Xiaoping was extremely ferocious and flew towards them with the power of annihilating an army of 100,000 demons, one could imagine the panic and fear in their hearts. Although this human might not have any ill intentions, the problem was that it was better to be safe than sorry. If this human had ill intentions and wanted to annihilate their monsters, who would compensate them if they died? Swoosh! Swoosh! The group of demons was scared out of their wits and didn't dare to stay in the same place. When they saw Xiaoping, it was as if they were looking at a plague. Afraid that they couldn't avoid him, they all fled. Some demonic birds flapped their wings and flew high, some land beasts ran wildly, and some insect demons even burrowed into the ground to escape. All of them used all their strength and hated that they didn't have more legs. In just a few breaths, they left where they were and fled in all directions. However, it wasn't just those demons. Even the elite students' expressions changed drastically, and they fled into the distance. This scene stunned the surrounding demons. One of them asked curiously, "Why are you running? You are all humans and brothers of the same race. What are you afraid of?" They were bewildered. They were monsters and they were afraid that this fellow would take their lives. It was one thing for them to escape, but these humans were also running away. They were even running faster than them like rabbits. What the fuck do all of you know? Xiaoping is infamous in our human world, and he's harmed countless companions. Some core students were exiled to the endless ocean because they offended him, and they were unable to return until they advanced into the king realm. An elite student's countenance turned ghastly pale as he recalled the various rumors about Xiaoping. Chapter 720. Time flew, and more than 10 days had passed in a flash. It had been 3 months since Xiaoping entered the battlefield of the Celestial Demon. Now it was time to leave the battlefield of the Celestial Demon. During these days, Xiaoping had been trying to capture a few more geniuses of the demon clan, but these demons were very cunning. When they saw Xiaoping from afar, they immediately ran away, not giving Xiaoping a chance to catch them. Some timid demons even hid directly until the end of the battlefield of the Celestial Demon. The battlefield of the Celestial Demon was too large. If those demons deliberately wanted to hide somewhere, it would be like looking for a needle in a haystack for Xiaoping to find them. Therefore, Xiaoping's plan to capture some geniuses of the demon clan failed. However, he did gain something else. He found some spiritual herbs along the way. Although they were not as good as the white spirit ginseng fruit, they were still rare spiritual herbs. He even took advantage of this time to take the spiritual liquid to hone his qigong. Finally, he opened another acupoint, which increased his gang qi a lot. After opening another 10 acupoints, he would be able to advance to the second stage of the Supreme Power Realm. I didn't expect to leave so soon. Time really flies. At this time, Xiaoping stood on the top of a mountain with his hands behind his back. He looked a little sad and a little reluctant. After staying in the battlefield of the Celestial Demon for so long, he had some feelings for it. After all, where could he find such a good place? There were spiritual herbs everywhere, and he could find some occasionally. He even had a demon underling serving him. If there was any danger, the underling would immediately help him eliminate it. He didn't need to do anything at all. It was not an exaggeration to say that this was the extravagant life of a local tycoon. If he returned to the outside world, he would not have such benefits. Fly my ass. Tu Linglong and the other demons wanted nothing more than to bite this human to death. To him, this was an incomparably joyful and memorable journey of time flying by. But for them it was simply torture, and a day felt like a year. They wanted 3 months to pass at once, so they could quickly leave the battlefield of the celestial demon and stay away from this shameless human. They were also geniuses of the demon clan. If they were in their own clan, they would be like princes and princesses with a high status and many servants. Now they, the geniuses of the demon clan, were serving this shameless human, who shouted at them like they were his subordinates. This was simply a hellish life. They would never forget it for the rest of their lives. If they could go back in time, they would rather die than come to the celestial demon battlefield. That's right, time flies. Big bro, if there's nothing else, we'll go back to the Thousand Monster Mountain. If there's anything in the future, we can contact each other again. The Crow of Misfortune shouted. It rolled its eyes and immediately wanted to slip away. Tu Linglong and the other demons also tore the heavenly demon talismans on their bodies and teleported away from this place. Xiaoping smiled and said, "What's the rush? You guys have probably been sick of staying in the Wanyao Mountain. Come with your big brother to the human world as a guest. You'll be able to eat delicious food and drink spicy drinks. I guarantee you guys will have a pleasant journey. Of course, if you don't want to, I won't force you. After all, I'm not a person who forces others to do things against their will. As the saying goes, a melon that is forcefully twisted is not sweet." The Crow of Misfortune and the other demons bared their teeth, feeling a little nauseous. If a despicable human like you isn't someone who forces others against their will, then there's no one else in the world. They also heard the hidden meaning in Xiaoping's words. If they dared to act blindly without thinking, he would definitely detonate the bomb and blow them up mercilessly. Obviously, this damned human really decided to kidnap them and extort money from their own race. This human's guts were simply boundless. Big bro, if we don't go back for a long time, I'm afraid the elders in the family will be worried, especially my father, the Crow King. He has a very bad temper, and when he gets angry, even he is afraid. The Crow of Misfortune reminded. If it was really kidnapped by Xiaoping and extorted money, it would definitely offend a monster king. The consequences would be very serious. Moreover, this brat didn't just kidnap one. He kidnapped a total of 7. It's fine, let your father come as a guest. My house is very big, and there are many guest rooms. It's not a problem, Xiaoping said with a smile, unmoved. Did he think that the so-called monster king could scare him? What a joke. When he returned to the human world, even if this so-called Crow King could ascend to the heavens, he wouldn't be able to cause trouble for him. Come as a guest. The faces of the Crow of Misfortune and the other demons turned green. Could it be that this guy was planning to kidnap the Monster Kings as well? This human's guts were simply too fat. However, they had no choice but to lower their heads in the face of Xiaoping's oppression. Let's go. Xiaoping immediately tore the Monster King talisman. With a boom, a golden light burst out and instantly enveloped Xiaoping, Tu Linglong, and the other demons. Swoosh! In the next second, they disappeared on the spot and were directly teleported out. At this moment, in various parts of the Sky Demon battlefield, countless demons and human elites also knew that they could finally leave. Some of the demons who had avoided Xiaoping's pursuit were so touched that they burst into tears. It's time. It's finally time. Damn, in order to escape the pursuit of that human devil, I have been hiding everywhere. I'm as miserable as a dog. Isn't that so? Every day, I slept in the open and ate fur and drank blood just to reduce the chances of being exposed. Don't even mention how miserable it was. Fortunately, the bitter days are finally over. We can also enjoy the sweet after suffering. Damn it. Who said that this trip to the Sky Demon battlefield was a vacation? If I don't kill him when I return, I'll change my surname to his. Countless demons sighed. They felt like they had survived a calamity. It could be said that the past 3 months had been the most difficult 3 months of their lives. They were in excruciating pain. They were also elites of the demon race, but they had been frightened to such a state by a human. It was simply humiliating. I wonder how the Crow of Misfortune and the rest are doing now. Are they still being held hostage by that despicable human? A demon suddenly thought of the Crow of Misfortune and the other demons. How can they escape after being targeted by that devil? Don't mention those demon traitors. Just the mention of them infuriates me. They actually betrayed the demons. They must be killed. They didn't do it on purpose. They only did it because they were forced by that human. Bullshit. Which demon traitor wasn't forced? He surrendered after being frightened. We demons don't have such cowards. Apart from Saintess Tu Linglong, the other demons should be captured and killed as a warning to others. Many demons gnashed their teeth at the crow of misfortune and the other demons. They hated the actions of the demon traitors and wished that they could destroy their corpses and erase all evidence. Unfortunately, the demon traitors stayed by Xiaoping's side, preventing them from finding an opportunity to attack. Let's go. Let's return to Myriad Demon Mountain. Chapter 721. At this time in the outside world, a super battleship was docked in an open space. Some guards and many monarchs were waiting there. They were all quietly waiting because today was the day the human elites would come out of the celestial beast battlefield. I wonder how those elite students are doing now? Could he have been killed by those demons? Someone asked worriedly. Among experts of the same cultivation level, monsters' talents and battle prowess were superior to humans. In a real battle, humans were at a disadvantage. Often, several humans combined could only defeat one. Therefore, humans were always at a disadvantage on the celestial demon battlefield. There were also some human monstrous geniuses who could rival the geniuses of the demon clan and even defeat them. The problem was that such people were in the minority. That's impossible. No matter what, they are all elites of humanity. They were chosen through slaughter. How could they die so easily? Someone shook his head. He didn't think that the elite students would be at a disadvantage. That's true. The geniuses of our human race are not to be underestimated. In any case, those who survive the Skyfiend battlefield will definitely become pillars of humanity in the future. Let's wait and see. Very soon we will know how many people survived. Many people nodded their heads. They were also very confident in the geniuses of the human race. Even if their talents were slightly inferior to the geniuses of the demon race, their martial skills, experience and resources would not lose to the geniuses of the demon race. If they really fought to the death, it was unknown who would win and who would lose. By the way, isn't there a young man called Xiaoping? I heard that he's the champion of this year's genius battle. I wonder how he's doing. A king tier mentioned Xiaoping. Although this kid is the champion of the genius contest, he is only at the 8th layer of martial master. He is still a distance away from becoming a grandmaster. Indeed, geniuses like Feng Qiudao have long reached the peak of the 9th layer of the martial master realm. Once they enter, they will be able to break through to the grandmaster realm, increasing their strength by several folds. Xiaoping is still lacking compared to a grandmaster. If he comes back in a few years, I reckon that Xiaoping will definitely be an influential figure. But now he's still a little too young. Fortunately, Xiaoping is still young and has plenty of opportunities. We can't expect too much from him this time. Many kings were chatting casually. Boom! Suddenly a massive wormhole appeared in the sky. It was unknown where the wormhole led to, but it exuded a mysterious and profound aura. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Immediately, streaks of golden light flickered, and figures appeared in the wormhole before quickly landing on the ground. They were the elite students that had entered the celestial demon battlefield. Soon they were standing on the ground. Some had injured arms, some had torn clothes like beggars, and some had their heads wrapped like dumplings. Almost all of them had injuries on their bodies. It was completely imaginable what sort of difficulties they encountered in the heavenly demon battlefield. It was simply a narrow escape from death. He's out, he's finally out. Great, I finally left that damned place. I've stayed long enough. This is the air of freedom, the air of safety. Feels so good. Many elite students were extremely excited. Leaving the Sky Demon battlefield meant that they no longer needed to constantly be on guard against evil fiends and demon attacks. They didn't have to face life or death crises at all times and tense their nerves. To them, this was like returning to heaven from hell. All of them were incomparably happy. Fuck, what's going on? Why are there demons here? Instantly, some kings noticed that Xiaoping had brought 6 or 7 demon race heaven's favorites with him. All of their auras were extremely powerful, and had reached the Grandmaster realm. Of course, they weren't afraid of anything. After all, there were dozens of king tiers here. Even if the 1,000 Demon Mountain attacked, they could resist for a while. Hearing this, the surrounding elite students had very strange expressions. Of course they knew why, but it wasn't their turn to speak now. Xiaping, what's going on with these demons around you? Yanhuang University's Vice-Chancellor Lu Shuwen asked. He looked curiously at the few demons around Xiaping. He could feel that these few demons had rich bloodlines. They were all descendants of demon kings and had amazing talent. In particular, the rabbit emitted the power of time and space. It was extremely mysterious, as if it had a natural body. Even in the 1,000 Demon Mountain, such a demon would be a descendant with a very high status. Chancellor, they are my spoils of war, Xiaping said casually. Spoils of war? All the king tiers present were dumbfounded. This was the first time they had heard of someone entering the Sky Demon battlefield and bringing back a few demon race heaven's favorites as spoils of war. It was simply unheard of. Chancellor Lu Shuwen looked at Xiaping with a strange expression. Spoils of war? What does that mean? It means exactly what it means. Xiaping looked at Chancellor Lu Shuwen and told him his plan. He wanted to capture a few demon race geniuses and extort them for money. What? The surrounding king tiers were completely dumbfounded. Did this kid know what he was talking about? He actually wanted to capture a few demon race heaven's favorites to extort money from the 1,000 Demon Mountain? How could this kid be so daring? Was this something a human could do? Without a doubt, once this matter was spread, the entire 1,000 Demon Mountain would be shocked. Countless king tiers would want to skin this kid alive and kill him as soon as possible. After all, for hundreds of years, humans had fought with the demon race. There had been many victories and defeats, but they had never tried to extort money from the 1,000 Demon Mountain. Kid, are you crazy? How dare you extort demon kings? A king tier bared his teeth. He didn't expect this kid to be so daring. He even dared to extort kings. How arrogant! Even though he had advanced to the king realm, he wouldn't dare to do it even if he had the chance. After all, once he did this, countless demon kings would be furious. If he encountered these demon kings, he would definitely be ganged up on and die without a burial. Thinking of this scene, he felt goosebumps all over his body. The group of king tiers looked at Xiaping with extremely strange expressions. They could see that Xiaping had advanced to the master realm. His strength was much stronger than 3 months ago. The problem was, so what if he was a master realm master? He dared to offend the demon kings. No matter how many lives he had, it wouldn't be enough. I have no choice. I don't know how to do business and working is too tiring. I don't have any way to make money, so I can only rob the rich and help the poor. There's no other way. Xiaping spread out his hands. Tu Linglong and the other monsters were so angry that their noses were crooked. They glared at this shameless guy. What kind of bullshit reason was that? Wasn't this kind of declaration something that only a loser could say? He even said that this was robbing the rich and helping the poor. Was this how idioms should be used? Chivalrous robbers specialized in robbing the rich and heartless. They used the money they obtained to help the masses of poor people. You bastard! Extorting money from others was purely to satisfy your own selfish desires. Chapter 722. Interesting, this is really interesting. Hearing this, Principal Lu Shuwen instantly laughed out loud. He looked at Xiaping. Good kid, only you can think of such a thing and you really dare to do it. Alright, leave this to me. I'll be in charge of negotiating with the monster race. This time we must cheat them of a large sum of money. If we don't ruthlessly cut off a piece of their flesh, they won't stop. The way he looked at Xiaping was very appreciative, and he smiled very happily. Old Lu, this doesn't seem appropriate. Won't we anger the monster kings? Some kings were worried about this. If this caused a war between the human race and the monster race to erupt, many people would die. It's okay. This is just exchanging captives. No matter how angry the monster kings are, they won't dare to do anything. Lu Shuwen was very sure about this because Tu Linglong and the other monsters didn't die. If they didn't die, then there was a lot more room for negotiation. Any problem that could be solved with money wasn't a problem at all. Of course, how much compensation would they have to pay to bring these geniuses back would be a problem for negotiation. Also, we once spent a large sum of money to save some talented human geniuses from the monster race. At that time, Thousand Monster Mountain ruthlessly slaughtered us. If we don't take revenge this time, wouldn't it seem like we humans don't know how to be grateful? Lu Xuan said with a smile. Old Lu is right. Hearing this, the other kings nodded. Thousand Monster Mountain had done many such things in the past. They invaded the human race's territory, and in the end, some human geniuses were snatched away and made into slaves, suffering all kinds of torture. To bring these human geniuses back, the Federation government had paid a huge price. They had ruthlessly cut off a piece of their flesh to save those geniuses. Doing this now was just out of politeness. Let's go. Lu Xuan's eyes lit up. We should leave now and quickly take the super battleship back to the human race's territory. Back to our base. Otherwise, when the monster kings react, there will definitely be a battle. But once we return to the human race's territory, it won't be up to them anymore. He thought about it very clearly. This place was close to the monster race's territory. If there was a conflict, the monster kings could get reinforcements from Thousand Monster Mountain at any time. The other party had the advantage in numbers, so they might be at a disadvantage. However, if they were to return to human territory, the monster kings would no longer be in control. No matter how powerful they would not be able to kill their way into human territory unless they wanted to start a war. Alright. Some of the monarchs also knew the seriousness of this matter. They immediately ordered all the elite students to board the battleship quickly, and then immediately teleport away, catching the group of demon kings off guard. By the time those demon kings reacted, they would have already returned to the human world. At this time in another area, whoosh whoosh whoosh. One by one, the demon race geniuses came out of the wormhole. They were carried by a golden light and quickly landed on the ground. Soon, an empty space was filled with geniuses from various races. Many demon kings and demon race elites appeared in the surroundings. They had all appeared here to protect the geniuses of the demon race, so that they would not be ambushed by the human race and suffer heavy losses. After all, if all the geniuses of the demon race were to die, there would be a gap in the demon race's powerhouses. This was an unbearable burden. He's out, he's finally out. As expected of the geniuses of the demon race. All of them look refreshed. They probably obtained endless benefits in the Sky Demon battlefield. I wonder how many humans they beat up this time. He's in such a good mood. Mere humans are nothing. Just based on martial strength, they can't catch up to us. Every time they go to the Sky Demon battlefield, they are covered in dust. This time is no exception. Many demon kings revealed amiable smiles when they saw their descendants come out of the Sky Demon battlefield unscathed. They were in a very good mood. Not long after, the geniuses that had entered the Sky Demon battlefield came out one after another. Those that had yet to come out had basically died in the Sky Demon battlefield. What's going on? Where is my race's Thunder Ape? Where did he go? Why hasn't he come out yet? An ape king's face was gloomy and black like charcoal. It had an ominous feeling. However, even among the many demon race geniuses, the Thunder Ape was extremely powerful. It would not believe that he had died in the Sky Demon battlefield. My tiger race's genius Metal Tiger is also gone. I haven't seen him yet. The same goes for the Crow of Misfortune. Where did he go? That's impossible. My three-eyed giant race is invincible. Who can contend against my three-eyed giant race? It's impossible with those lowly humans. Could something have happened in the Sky Demon battlefield? Is there an unprecedented disaster? Immediately, the Raven King, Tiger King, Thunderbull King, and the other demon kings all had gloomy expressions. They were in a terrible mood. They had an ominous feeling that their descendants had yet to come out. It boded ill rather than well. Tell me what happened. Why hasn't my race's Saintess Tu Linglong come out yet? She has a secret treasure on her. It's impossible for her to die in the Sky Demon battlefield. A Battle Rabbit King was enraged. The surrounding air distorted and the stones on the ground trembled. This aura enveloped a radius of dozens of miles, making all the demon race geniuses present feel an impending disaster. This was the pressure of a demon king. It was basically undefeatable. Lord Demon King, they have all been kidnapped by a shameless human. He said that he would take them back as mounts and capture a few demon race geniuses to guard his house. One of the demon kings immediately cried and told them about Xiaoping. Those bastards, the crows of misfortune, have no backbone at all. They became traitors after being threatened. Those bastards are not demons at all. They betrayed their master for glory. Demons despise them. It's said that the Thunder Ape brothers would rather die than submit. They have an unyielding temperament, but they were slapped to death by that human and roasted on the spot. Saintess Tu Linglong was also captured by that human. He wants to take her back to warm his bed and give birth to many descendants for him. That human is extremely arrogant. He said that if there's a chance, he'll go to the 10,000 Demon Mountain again and capture many demon kings to fill his harem. Fortunately, Saintess Qing Luan escaped quickly. Otherwise, she would have been killed by him. Lord Demon King, you have to avenge us. Punish that shameless and hateful human. Otherwise, our dead demon race brothers will not be able to rest in peace. Many of the demon race's geniuses cried out loud, as if they had been wronged like children. It was as if they wanted to cry out all the bitterness they had suffered in the past 3 months. Chapter 723. What did you say? The Thunder Ape was killed by a human and roasted and eaten on the spot. Does that human want to die? How dare he humiliate the apes like this? The Ape King roared. Its face was gloomy and dark. A terrifying rage was brewing in its chest. The ground it was standing on was immediately shaken by the terrifying chi, creating a huge crater. The Thunder Ape was a rare genius of the apes. They had high hopes for him, and he had the potential to become an invincible king. Now that he was killed by a human, it couldn't accept it. Impossible, you're lying, shouted the Raven King. The crows of misfortune are indomitable. We are kings. Our bloodline is noble. Why would we submit to a human and work for him willingly? Don't talk nonsense here. It didn't believe that its descendants would be so spineless that they would willingly become a human's fighter. It's true. All the monsters saw it. The first one to surrender was this damned raven. When it kills monsters, it's even more ruthless than humans. It's a complete betrayal. Some demons swore to the heavens that this was absolutely true. If not for the fact that the crows of misfortune and the other demons had surrendered, they would have surrounded the human and killed him. They would not have given him a chance to grow. Forget about the crows of misfortune. But the Unicorn Thunder Bull clan will never surrender. That's right. The Tiger clan is a king. We are born kings. We will never be dogs for humans. The Three-Eyed Giant clan is the same. Humans are just dwarves. What right does he have to be a master? He wants us to be his guards? Is he crazy? The Thunderbull King, the Giant King, the Tiger King, and the other kings didn't believe this. Their descendants wouldn't fall to such an extent and be tamed by a small human. It's true, said the Phoenix, but they didn't submit. That human put a restriction on them. If they don't listen, they will be killed. Their bodies will be shattered and they will die without a whole corpse. So they have to listen to that human. You can't blame them. Hearing this, the surrounding kings all fell silent. If it was another monster, they wouldn't believe it. But since it was the Phoenix, nobody dared to doubt it. The Phoenix's status in the Thousand Monster Mountain was too high. It was comparable to a king. That human deserves to die. Many monster kings were furious. He actually dared to use such methods to enslave a monster king's descendant. This violated a taboo, causing boundless killing intent to surge within their hearts. They wanted to immediately kill that human. What about our clan's holy maiden Tu Linglong? She fell into that human's hands. How is she now? The Battle Rabbit Monarch was extremely anxious because Tu Linglong was too important to the rabbit race. She was the key to the rabbit race's future glory. If something were to happen to Tu Linglong, it wouldn't be able to make up for it even if it died. I don't know. He should be fine for now, Qing Luan said solemnly. A demon shouted, she seems fine on the surface, but according to the rumors, Tu Linglong has already become that human's forbidden domain. She works day and night and plays the flute every night. She's been ravaged excessively. It was extremely sad and indignant. What? How dare that human do this and humiliate the demon clan? Kill him. Kill that human. He dares to insult our demon race's holy maiden. This is a great humiliation. The holy maiden's charm is boundless and she's extremely attractive to humans. No man can resist her. Now that she's fallen into the human's hands, she's probably done for. I'm just afraid that she's pregnant. The group of demons was extremely sad and indignant. There were many among them who adored Tu Linglong. But now the holy maiden had actually fallen into the human's hands and become his forbidden domain. A maid who warms his bed. When they thought of this, they couldn't restrain their anger. It was as if they had been cuckolded. That damned human. I must annihilate him and exterminate his entire clan. The battle rabbit monarch roared furiously. Tu Linglong was the demon race's holy maiden. She was a noble, pure, and supreme existence that couldn't be blasphemed. But now she was actually sullied by a lowly human. This was a humiliation. This was a humiliation that couldn't be washed away even with the waters of 3 rivers. How could this be? We're a dignified demon race, yet no demon can restrain him? How could we allow such an ignorant brat to act so tyrannically? What exactly are all of you doing? Why aren't you going to save her? Have you all grown up eating shit? A demon monarch was enraged. As a dignified demon race that fought the heavens and earth, they were invincible. Now they were actually intimidated by a puny human and rubbed against the ground, not daring to act recklessly. Even when their holy maiden was snatched away, all of them remained indifferent. Instead, they fled in all directions in fear. They were no different from stray dogs. How can a puny human be so savage? Could it be that this isn't because the human is too savage, but because the current generation of demons is simply too weak? How much worse are they compared to the previous generation? Even a puny human can't subdue them. Each generation is worse than the previous. If this continues, our demon race will really become a vassal of the human race. We won't be able to rise again in this lifetime. Many of the demon race elites around gritted their teeth. Their emotions were very complicated. There was anger, grief, disappointment, and helplessness. All sorts of feelings welled up in their hearts. Hearing these words, many geniuses of the demon race felt ashamed. They wanted nothing more than to bury their heads in the ground and never come out again. They also felt extremely ashamed of being so fearful of a human. This was a disgrace. We must kill him. A demon monarch growled. His voice contained boundless anger. He gritted his teeth so hard that they broke. Such a thing was simply unheard of. If they still remained indifferent, they would be completely looked down upon by the human. In the future, the demon race would lose their backbone and wouldn't even be able to raise their heads in front of the human. Where is that human? I'll go and kill him immediately. The Ape King was furious. The Thunder Ape was the hope of their ape race, the future of their race. Now he was killed by a human. This was a blood feud. Hearing these words, many demon monarchs came to their senses. Yes, find that human and kill him immediately. Also, Holy Maiden Tu Linglong and the Crow of Misfortune should be rescued immediately. The human's encampment is not far from here. If we go now, we should be able to successfully intercept him. No matter what, if that human really takes away these geniuses of the demon race and sends them back to guard their homes, this will be a great humiliation to our demon race. It's an unbearable weight. Let's go together and demand an explanation from the human. I want to see what this human has to say. How dare he humiliate our demon race like this? If he doesn't give us an explanation, there will be no end to this. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.